honestly, I don't think it matters.
Spotted. Takes it beat here. Holding these shoulders, we play hand in hand. Frosty just rotating. Xavier right now. It's a dance. It's ring around the Rosie. And DK's been leading the whole time.
We're doing a bit of a tango there. Oh my goodness. It was ultimately a dance of death though with those four. Inside of MMG trade the victory. And
What a day we've had so far. The 83rd Pit of Valor. I'm joined by Daxity, and we're here to provide you guys with the last 3 best of ones that we have here for today. Of course, to recap, for the time being, we had Stasis start us off with a very swift 13-5 up against Concord Medics with practically a CSGO overtime, 16-14 over Opulence, and Omnipotent taking all the way back 13-11, almost an overtime against No-Namers. But now we've got Gamer Duder guys going up and none against the Chapter 4 Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here with you, Anton. And yeah, we've got our last 3 best of ones, the cream of the crop rising to the top as we have our last top 8 teams remaining, all facing off of that $50, that GM41 gaming mouse, and all those bragging rights. So I honestly, in a lot of these tournaments, you kind of expect like a lot of wipes, a lot of, really one-sided matchups, but actually, throughout the broadcast, we've had some really close matchups. One going to overtime, the last one almost going all the way, all the distance. And so I think so far that bodes really well for us going to these last matches.
Yeah, for sure. This might honestly be a long night because, like you said, even how these games have gone so far, there's literally a double overtime, and then the last one was almost. So, I mean, I'm slightly scared for sleep schedules, but at the same time, we're gamers, so I think we can handle it. But let's hope these players can handle it, because these guys are going to be playing for a lot longer than we have been casting so far. So we'll see what they can do, but for the time being, we have to thank our sponsors. Of course, MSI has been so grateful to provide us with so many things so far that we've had, obviously, the giveaways that you can enter in. But obviously, for us, we are GLG, and we're opening up a gaming facility. So up in New York, pretty cool stuff. We're literally at the top of a skyscraper. There's a launch party going on the 20th of next month, so stay tuned for that one. It's literally, I mean, it's perfect. It's 420. I mean, who doesn't love that? So April 20th at the lounge, special launch party. You can play in the Pit of Valor live from the 22nd floor. In the clouds, you were playing in the Wednesday show. That is some amazing stuff. But yeah, opening a gaming lounge later this year in Rochester, Innovation Square, and yeah, you can check out photos and renderings of what the thing is going to look like when it's done at !GLG LAN in the chat. You can find out more information about that. We have a Discord, we have a Twitter, !Discord, and Twitter just the same, and the Country Club membership, of course, if you guys want to lock in your spot for all of these Wednesday tournaments. There's only a full stack of teams that can join in, 64, that's it. So if you want to make sure you're one of those 64, you have to, go join the Country Club. And of course, I think, I actually don't know. There was a giveaway for it. Was that actually, did we do that already? I wonder if we can get some information on that. I think we already did. But yeah,
Yeah.
That's a thing that happened. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll have one of those again, but not entirely sure. But nevertheless, without further ado, we will be getting straight into this matchup. I mean, we don't want to go too long. This is already going to be a long day. Might have another overtime, not entirely sure, but we're in to our 3rd ascent of the day. What a surprise, deck.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely shocked and in awe of getting Ascent once again. I was excited, like, hey, we got Haven to start off the day. Maybe we'd get some Icebox, maybe some Fracture, something. Nope, those are all getting banned very quickly, very swiftly. I think teams are kind of sticking to what they're comfortable with, sticking to what they know, and considering how well versed a lot of these teams have been on Ascent throughout the day, it's no surprise that there are even more teams that are, I guess, feeling the same way about this map as we move into this. We're already seeing the Omens being picked on both sides, the Sovas, the Jets, the KOs, no surprise there. And it looks like there might even be some mirror matchup potential coming up as both these teams lock in.
Well, I guess not really too much of a surprise, right? Because Ascent is, like you said, it's one of those maps that just happens to be played here in North America. So yeah, we do have a mirror matchup as Omens on both teams. Is single initiator of Sova, and double initiators is a KO on both sides as well. Jet being the only duelist, and Killjoys on both teams. This is probably the most standard lineup that you could possibly find on this map. Maybe last patch you would have an Astra, but this time, after all the nerfs, you see the Omens nowadays, and this is what's going to happen. So we have pretty normal stuff on both teams. So we'll see. It's just going to be a skill differential. Whoever is the better team, whoever woke up and had their coffee this morning and ate their Wheaties, is going to be the one to come out on top. But we'll have to see. Going into this map, 30 seconds remaining for these two teams to standardize their buys. And it looks like Chapter 4 want to start off with some early mid presence.
Yeah, I believe this was actually the mirror comp we saw in the previous game as well. And I wouldn't be surprised we see more crazy Odin Sova plays, some really rapid fire Jet plays as well. And that's really where I think the skill diff is going to come into play here, is will you be able to have that Jet that's very clean on their entries onto the site? Will you have the utility to back them off? Will you play that really steady game when you need to and pop the utility when you can? We'll see as Doomsday figuring things out on this angle before they finally get the lineup. There goes the fragment, and here comes the push.
Straight into the site. They get in pretty much scot-free. There's some shock darts perhaps to delay the plant for the time being, but it does end up going down. Polar Sherry's just going to stick that. No damage done. Perhaps a flank had contact made, but at top mid, Chapter 4 don't seem to want to actually push in. There's a paranoia going through, but no one's going to be blinded, and still the flank is so slow. Helios now trying to contest, takes up the turret at least first off. Polar Cherry looking back now, trying to engage on A main, while all this chaos happens on the site, but it's all the defenders to get the frag so far. Chapter 4 looking great on this retake, and now it's Doomsday, last alive, stuck inside a wine, has nothing to say about the rest of this round. Smoke goes down on the spike, and Yukine removes that offending player right out from the round, and 3 players left alive for Chapter 4, convincing pistol round win.
Yeah, they were chunked down pretty hard there, though. Like, those ghosts are certainly putting some shots down hard. But yeah, Yukine and Click Shift there, playing both the door and the flank respectively, and taking their time too, right? Like, once the spike went down, they didn't just immediately scramble, like, all right, we have to rush in and try to get a kill. It was a nice slower pinch there, and having that 1 or 2 players in the back and waiting for the spike to go down until the utility had all been played is exactly what they needed, because then they all had the shots down, the angles were there, and there wasn't any coverage to block off those angles from behind. So Chapter 4 Academy will take that round. A nice start here, and you can see a lot of buys already from both sides. They don't want to give the other team an inch this early into the map.
Yeah, wow. I mean, we saw this, I'm pretty sure, on, what is it? Was it our last game of Opulence? We saw a very big force buy second round, Thrifty, from the team of, if I'm correct, yeah, it was Omnipotent, but this time it's just guns for both sides, another big force from the side of Gamer, and they ended up making it kind of work as a trade, so good enough for maybe a spike plant, but Helios is still on this spike site, a dink on a Doomsday, another trade back and forth for Korra, and it's a 3-on-3, yet again, everyone's got guns, so this is still anyone's round, plant is getting confirmed, so even the money bonus for Gamer Duder, guys, pretty decent in this round, and the shock dart doing damage on a JG as well, just waiting for Yukine to throw this flash straight through the entire site. Everyone's gonna be blind very, very soon, but the timing, what is it gonna be? 2 people now can't see anything, and it's Shuhei to get first line of defense, but so far it's still very slow from Chapter 4, just creeping on in, not making any noise. And the first gunfight won by Polar, traded right back yet again. It's just 1-for-1 all across the board, but still GDG came out on top, and that force buy ends up working.
Yeah, Chapter 4 Academy, a much more passive defense than we saw in the first round, likely trying to hold on to those weapons they had just bought as long as they could, but unfortunately weren't able to keep the dominoes from falling. They didn't have anyone on the flank. They didn't have anyone playing door either. You could see how everyone was funneling up from heaven and trying to make it work, but there were too many one-on-ones being played. You only had a couple double swings at the same time, and then Shuhei just coming out on top with 2 quick kills at the end. That's going to get them a rifle in their hands, and almost the entire team bought up with full armor to go into this one. This should be a full and easy win here for Gamer Duder, guys. Wow, that's a mouthful. To come into this next round and take round 3 pretty convincingly. So it's up to Chapter 4 Academy here to do some economic damage with these pistols.
I mean, they've got the correct stack here, right? Click Shift even potentially throwing out his molly to prevent any early push. There's a lot of time on the round. There goes the first dart, dash right in, and the molly has to go down now to prevent anyone else from actually getting on the site, but no, instead, Click Shift just uses his rifle, uses that pistol to take one out, and Doomsday with another frag at the back of the site. Shuhei tags along, but JG follows it up on the defense, and maybe another, but it's still, the kill is coming out from Gamer Duder, guys. Should be good enough to close, but it's a lot of damage already done by Chapter 4, like you mentioned. This is exactly what they wanted coming into this round.
Yeah, that is absolutely massive. Getting 3 rifles down to the ground. They're going to have to rebuy armor and then some coming into the next round. Helios now, I mean, was pretty much separated from their squad, and I would probably say that it might have been better just to go for a full stack, because on pistols, you really can't flank super effectively against rifles, but Helios going to make it happen, and as they've gone through the dark cover, I don't believe anyone on Gamer Duder, guys, has seen that, though they will get caught out, and unfortunately, timing is not in Helios' favor. That spikes, and they continue to tick down as GDG takes another round under their belt, but it was not clean. They're going to have to do a lot of rebuys here, and that gives Chapter 4 Academy a little wiggle room here coming to the next round.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their money right now, they're not even gonna all have rifles. There's no blades on Zell, so it's not even like he can pull out that out. So he's gonna need a gun. Doomsday, I'm not sure what he's gonna do. He could go for a sheriff, or he could just keep the pistol, keep his money in line with everyone else on the team. That's pretty wise. So yeah, let's see if he can do anything. It's just a classic. You never know. It's a decent gun, but no, he actually invests. Okay, wise enough again. He keeps the round in contention. He only has an SMG, but that thing can do work as well. So the entire team stacked up top mid. There's no default at all. They don't really have too much map control. Probably just looking to barrel down onto this A site. But and again, they're walking into the stack of Chapter 4 Academy. 3 players strong. 2 actually watching this catwalk. This could be an absolute disaster right now. The spike is here. Does it get dropped? Quick shift with a double kill, and that's the entire attack just stifled.
Yeah, all eyes were on JG there as they bought an op, leaving them with 100 credits coming into this round and no armor. And of course, Gamer Duder guys walk right into the funnel, walk right into the slaughterhouse there, lose 2 and then some, lose 3 actually to click shifts, double kill, and then the op kill there from JG. So this just gives Chapter 4 Academy complete control of the map here. They've cut it off in half thanks to the op, and Gamer Duder guys cannot push out on this. They already know that there's 2 players waiting here on catwalk still and have not moved their position, though Ego is going to use that to their advantage, picks things off, a really solid peek, and gets click shift right in the head. Noggin goes down, and now it's a 4-on-2 situation. Now, really, their mission here is to try and unhand this jet and get this op out of their grip. That's really what they, even if they don't win this round, you gotta get that op to hit the floor. And they're gonna push up here. Ego's gonna push that Ego, move in here, and off the shock dart, might be able to get some damage on, but no, falls to the ground. That's the worst luck you could absolutely have here. But still, Shuhai picks up the slack. JG goes down 13 and now 12 seconds on the clock. And this might actually be enough to get the spike down, but they gotta be aggressive. They don't know Yukine's on here in a hell.
Oh, the time! No, that kill from Ego might end up doing something. Do they have actually? They do.
Oh, they have
How
just
do they
enough
have
time!
time?
No way!
There's no way. Now this is winnable. You kidding? He spots the shoulder. Oh, it's just not quite. On a 1 versus 2 now for Ego, and he takes so much damage. Surely, not surely. There's no way for him to clutch this out, right? As the smoke that goes down, he's playing so patiently, and Yukine now doesn't know where he is anymore, but there's still 2 alive, and that reveals his location. That's it. Done and dusted. Yukine cleans it right up, and Ego, very nice effort, very nice gunplay to even get it down to a 1 versus 2, but even still, GDG cannot recover in Chapter 4 with a good opening. They end up closing with 2 alive.
That was what a crazy round right there. It seemed like it was all lost there at the beginning off of those initial kills from JG and Cliff Shift. And sure, Chapter 4 do come out on top, but it was too close for really to be, you know, for certain, right? It was too close for comfort. Now, JG, it looks like they did rebuy the op, or they might have had it handed back to them by Yukine. So they went down over in Catwalk, and I believe Yukine was able to pick that back up and hand it over back to JG, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, got a lot of value off that, and GDG took a lot of bodies down in the process. So both teams' credits are still super low.
Oh, big knife. I mean, they're just gonna go right in, straight into B. Chapter 4 not here. Big flank, very fast at that, but this should be a pretty decent spike plant, very, very quick. So 5 versus 5. It's already gonna be a retake setup from the side of Chapter 4. They were prepared for this. No one played on the site. There's still guns, so they're gonna go for this. A lot of utility to be thrown out, and even a kill to be had on Ego, the only player so far watching the flank. Shuhei tries to support, but he gets deleted as well. And so many bodies falling right now from Gamer Duder guys in Chapter 4, looking to pull it back again. Korra gets 1, but how much can he bend? Not anymore, other than that. Doomsday now on for the clutch. 1 versus 5, and only gets the first 2. Click shift with his own triple kill, closes that one out. 5 HP, but that's more than enough.
Snuck that reference in right there. That was that was clean. I like that. That was good. But Chapter 4 Academy, they will walk away with another quick round win there on the defuse. Doomsday does get a bunch of damage done. We're going to see some more of that prowess coming out here. Playing very aggro. I would almost think Doomsday's been playing some Elden Ring lately. Just going aggro as hard as possible on really high ground enemies there, and picks off 2. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Their armor and their faith were not high enough there in that matchup. So a 3-on-2 scoreline for Chapter 4 Academy as they take 2 in a row, and they put GDG back down to some pistols for half buy.
Oh, quick knives out for the side of Gamer Duder guys. No buy, so wants to keep them in this round however possible. So some potential locking up this mid position with a shorty even. Maybe a fake teleport by Ego just to play some sound cue and make someone second guess inside this catwalk, but no one is here. Dog is cleared. Clickshift is playing inside the site, very, very safe. Knows that there's only low buys on the side of GDG, so don't want to take those close range fights. Want to keep as much distance as possible between them and the enemies, and it's just them playing very, very patient on the site. Smoke's going down just to, once again, play some mind games, but it looks like it will, this attempt to be a B finish. The spike's on that side, and the Jets already made her way all the way into this market position, looking their way in. I'm not sure if the door's closed or what, but still sitting very, very patient and just looking through the spawn, cutting off any rotations, asking some questions on this catwalk is the Omen, but there goes the TP from the defensive one, and now it should be up. There's only 40 seconds remaining, and everyone is here on the B site from GamerDuder, guys, and the defense is bolstered as well.
They're also popping that Blade Storm here and looking
30
for
seconds
someone to
left.
enter the pizza place, but so far, no one's thinking about some dollar slices just yet. And really, I mean, nothing is happening. Or 20 seconds, someone's going to have to make a play. GDG has done a really good job of forcing utility out, but it doesn't matter when JG has the op ready to go. Kicks off 2. Helios follows up with a first kill of their own to make it 3.
10 seconds
And now with
left.
10 seconds left on the clock, this is pretty much all done here. They won't be able to get the spike down in time, even if they rush up onto the site. So I think they're just going to look for some kills. And they do get a few. And the Flawless actually comes out just in time. That's going to be massive there. 4-2 now, and Chapter 4 Academy gets it done by the skin of their teeth without the plant.
And that is actually very impressive for C4 Academy so far, because GamerDuder, guys, winning out that anti-eco on the second round, well, technically, call it a force buy, not entirely an anti-eco, but after that, you might have thought, these guys have a real chance in this round when they're able to take it like that, but so far after that, and the conversion by GamerDuder, guys, Chapter 4 have just looked absolutely flawless, and this should be the round that is a contest between these two. There's 3 ultimates on the side of GDG, all of them pretty impactful, other than maybe the Omen ulti, but I mean, maybe they can find something to do with that one, teleporting to the back of B site or up into heaven on A, something to find some information, create some chaos. But Chapter 4, they've got blades and they've got a Hunter's Fury, so maybe something even more to be done with that. There goes the dart. No dart from the defense. And JG already with an entry inside that A main. That is a very nice kill to be had at the top of mid.
That is honestly kind of devastating, right? They've lost their major entry. They're also getting scanned out, so their second entry agent has also been found out here and is also taking damage. Might take some more, barely gets out of the way of that shock dart, but now GDG, the pressure's on them. Do they rotate, which might be a pretty obvious rotate because of how much time they've wasted sitting here? Or does this Hunter's Fury just mop them up? It looks like Cora's going to get some damage done, and just outside of the kill window there, they're going to whip that last shot, and now there's an opportunity for GDG to push up. They got to get this initial kill here on Helios, though. They're playing it, and here comes that lockdown to force them off the site, but it's not going to force more out as Helios. Yeah, Helios gets a kill right through that dark cover. You can see they anticipated that very cleanly, and GDG is now entering the site down 2 agents.
Very nice spam, but I mean, still man advantage for Chapter 4, so even with the plant down, this could be a big struggle. Shuhei is behind so many players on the enemy team right now, but they have to be looking at the smoke. They're very aware, and he only gets 1 before he gets shut down, and now it's a 1-on-4. Doomsday can't do a single thing. That is a shutdown from Chapter 4 Academy.
Chapter 4 Academy now looking really strong. I mean, that was probably the most critical round of the game so far. GDG all on full rifles. 4 of their 5 players had full shields, and they had no credits, so they have to save in this next round. They lose that round, they're going to be down 6. They're going to be down 6-2. Yeah, it's not going to be great. Like, they are saving money here to potentially get back into this for some rifles, but the problem is they have not figured out how to deal with JG on that jet, and I think they're going to be taking a little bit of a timeout to maybe figure that out here.
Yeah, very wise. They've got to talk something out, because again, ever since the 3rd round, nothing has really worked out for them. Going to see some, timeout for the time being. We have to thank our sponsors, of course, MSI. I mean, look at this headset. That is, I'm jealous of the guy that already won it so far, because I've wanted a headset for quite a while, and MSI's looks fairly sexy, if I must say so myself. So, thank you again to MSI for sponsoring this tournament, of course. So much merch already just thrown out so far with the giveaways, and the next 5 Pit of Valors, including this one, are all sponsored by MSI. So 5 weeks of giving. GLG thanks MSI, and each week starting this one, you can win an MSI GH50 headset. All active GLGCC members, country club members, are placed in the running to win a $25 Valorant point card every single week, and you can type !giveaway in chat for more details on that. But for the time being, we will be getting back into this game. audio from the headset, hopefully giving these guys a lot of good information for what they have to play with, because they're the ones that need it right now. And apparently Gamer Duder guys, hopefully these guys can get a chance to win those headsets, because right now they are completely lost. They have absolutely no idea what's going on. 6 and 5, 6 and 7, top 2 players on the team. Eagle following it with 4. 2 players sitting at breadsticks. Not entirely the best showing for the 2 players at the bottom of the scoreboard, especially one of them being the duelist. Not entirely what you want to see, but we'll see if they can end up waking up. Because speaking of duelists, JG, very precarious angle right now on the bricks position. Some might call it Shroud, and of course he gets 2 with that. Of course he does. It's so free for him. The operator chimes out, and even, I don't know how that one didn't get a kill. Big dash, but he is completely blind, and even still, Doomsday is trying to inflict some doom on the opponents, but only gets 2. Zell with some for his troubles, but 1 HP. How much more can this guy find?
For Zell to make this happen, it would be like splitting the Red Sea for them. It would be an absolute miracle to get it done with a single little sliver of HP. But wow, that was, I mean, JG, that just very smart. You got to reposition yourself so they have no idea where you're going to be expected. And it's a really close corner that you're not expecting an op to be on. And then they all funnel in, and you expect that funnel because they're all pushing in on pistols. So of course they're going to be stacking as a whole team. They line up, the collat comes through. And sure, Chapter 4 Academy did not get it done extremely cleanly. They only had 2 agents left alive at the end of that round, but their money's looking so good that it doesn't even matter. JG is going to rebuy, has full armor, has almost 7.5k in the bank. Meanwhile, GDG is just looking to kind of play this every other round, right? Like, they full buy here, and they lose this, well, they're going to have to save again. And then, you know, they have like 2 cycles of that to go in this half to try to even this out. But this margin of error is slowly but surely getting really small here for GDG as they continue to force the issue.
Fast playing to B this time, so hopefully for something, they must make something work, right? Because they ended up talking that round out a couple rounds ago, but instantly the entry doesn't end up working out for them. Doomsday already get taken down. Valor does trade it right back, and there's no, I don't entirely know why there's no smoke on that market position, but nonetheless they do get the kill until Korra has something to say about that one, takes out the opposing Sova. They still have not picked up this KO just yet. They're worried about someone coming from that spawn position, but now they're finally safe with that drone being taken out. And Korra, is he gonna lose his life here? Still not quite. Now I don't even know how he survives that, but that is very fortunate. Chapter 4 keep the man advantage even after GDG picked the KO up, and now the spike is getting planted, but a 4-on-3 retake with 3 ultimates to boot. This is going to be a hell of a defense for Gamer Duder guys to try and fend off.
And yep, that will have the jet be suppressed there. Doomsday is going to hold their ground and takes out JG despite that. And that Hail Mary no point did not land on anybody, but that Killjoy lockdown is not going to make him think twice about holding this position. Click Shift, Korra, and Helios all combining for the last 3 kills, and that is going to be another defuse here. Chapter 4 Academy, they're able to take these rounds with 2 or 3 agents alive. I mean, it's not absolute cleanest, but they're getting it done nonetheless, and a W is a W. So now they've increased that scoreline to a 5-round lead. GDG just looks like they're up a river without a paddle, as they're going to have to either force buy someone of the team here, or they have to go for mostly a save and cycle between these full buy and save rounds, where they're essentially giving up every other round unless they can really, you know, have a huge stroke of luck here. And of course, Chapter 4 Academy will take that all day.
Yeah, this one's a bit disjointed as well, as you can see. I think Zell may be trying to make a hero play or something like that, but it's kind of rough, especially because he has not looked very good in this entire matchup. Looking at the statistics alone, maybe he can wake up. Maybe he drank some coffee between rounds 7 and 8, and now it's finally kicking in. But this is going to be a tough one. They've got a Haunted Fury, but that is all they really have to work with other than this Vandal. Zell looking out in the mid, he just wants to try for some taps, but there's an off angle, very big off angle by JG, and very aggressive in the mid. What in the world is that? That is disgusting. Polar is on the edge of his screen. That is a beautiful flick. And Chapter 4 just asserting their dominance right now. This Jet walks straight in the mid, doesn't care. Nothing given in the world, and Yukina even following up on that one outside of A.
That is devastating. I mean, how many rounds have we had in a row here, Anton, where GDG loses 1 or 2 players on their team before the round's even really begun? There's another one that goes down. That's 3 in a row for JG as Doomsday goes down. You can see Ego, it's like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be now. Like, where do I go? Do I try and take this fight? Oh, they see the end of that op there. They see the barrel, and they're like, oh my god.
30 seconds left.
Oh, it's like in the water against Jaws here. Somehow, though, they come out on top. it's the end of the first movie, but then Korra comes through and takes down the beast. Ego goes down. Yeah, this has been the JG show, right? Like you talk about the off angles, JG's been dominating there, but then JG doesn't just like, all right, I got the kill, I back up. No, they play aggressively and hunt down another kill. They take map control, they continue to push up, and they make it impossible for GDG to feel safe really anywhere on the map. It's been, they haven't had the smoke covers to really shut off these angles, but then JG's been able to adapt really well and force other positions that GDG has not been able to expect so far. JG at 13-7-2 has the Blade Storm ready as well if they want to drop that off to someone else and move in, but at this point they're so comfortable on it right now. Why change anything up?
Get out of my way!
Yeah, he's blocked off finally by an Omen smoke that's tall enough to actually cover the entire angle from mid-arch. But yeah, like you mentioned, he's so confident. He's already popped it. There go the blades. He might want to actually jump this mid wall, but he's already got a kill on Shushe. That is, what is it? That's like top cat or something like that. And he's going to rotate all the way back to the A site to try and help out his teammates still sitting on this site defense, but just sitting pretty. He only took 1 bullet of damage from that Sova and a headshot to return. And no, he's actually wanting to re-aggress on cat. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, he doesn't care. The roughest part about this for GDG, I think, is the fact that these guys are so confident right now on the side of Chapter 4. Look at that pushing. They're in tiles. They're in tiles. That's a free kill on the boulder. You never expect the defender to push that far out. And now stuck at top mid, right outside A main. GDG are completely lost. They have absolutely no map control. And Chapter 4 are looking so dominant right now. That is, you asked how many rounds in a row? It's about to be 8. Yeah. We're getting to that point.
This is, I mean, this is where you kind of like smell the blood in the water. Like Chapter 4 Academy knows that they have the confidence advantage and that the other team's scared. They're scared to push out. Now, Zell does get that shot in. JG just misses that. That's kind of just an aim diff there. Helios picks up 2 in a row. And that is pretty big considering Zell has a Blade Storm and a Dream. They have the op, but at 28 HP, I mean, this is essentially a numbers game now for Chapter 4. They can just throw bodies at the problem and see what happens. Helios might actually be able to get the pick off here and does so. That's 4 in a row all the way from Helios to make it a 9-2 scoreline. And GDG has not felt comfortable really on any of these rounds. Unfortunately, they're losing their entries just too often in these fights. And I mean, not for nothing, JG's making it very difficult. Playing very well and making it very difficult for JDG to kind of have anything more comfortable than just a simple default push, right? Like they're trying to find the initial pick and they're never getting it, and then the game plan kind of falls apart against Chapter 4.
Yeah, for sure. And now this is obviously last round they have to fully invest, and if they win this one, maybe there's a chance. You never know. There's a big curse going on, and Zell straight in. Good paranoia, perhaps able to get 2 kills, and maybe this is how it has to happen. Even wall hacks onto this last player on the site, but he's out of ammo. Doesn't matter. Shuhei cleans it right up, but apparently that's what needed to happen all along. Straight into B. Beautiful synergy with all the utility being used to get those 2 entry frags, and even the Sova. That was a stacked site. They all went down with a single response, and now the plant going down 2 versus 5 for Chapter 4. They've done so much. They've looked so good, but this would be another task, another mountain to climb.
It's almost a little too late here for GDG. They finally figured out the right formula, but by now everyone's already picked up the other stuff. It's a 9-2 scoreline. You pick this up here. Zell does get click shift, and now it is just you can by themselves. Doomsday gets it, and it'll be 9-3, but yeah, I mean, that looked how really well executed that was, right? Like GDG, like they used all, I mean, of course they had a lot to work with, but when you're against an op, like that's almost what you want to be doing. You want to be stacking, you want to be throwing a ton of different bodies at the op and not just giving them one-on-ones to push.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys heard us, but apparently after we called them out for losing 8 rounds in a row, maybe they had the MSI headsets and they can tap into our comms, but whatever the case, they ended up making that round work out. That was absolutely insane. I mean, straight into B, and technically not the exact stride, but they tried a full send before and it hasn't worked out, and this time it was a lot cleaner. Perhaps it was off the back of their opponents playing a lot more aggressive. Chapter 4 were up inside B main, 2 people getting flashed by that one single paranoia, and the second person, he's good, but not good enough. Excuse me, is JG with the operator. You can't hit all the shots in the world, right? He's human, so fair enough.
Yeah.
That's something that we understand. But
It
getting
is
back
what
to
it
it,
is. It is what it is. By the way, I would love to see that QR code kind of bouncing around on the screen at one point. I don't know if you've at the Super Bowl they had the Coinbase QR code that was bouncing around all around the TV screen. That would have been wild to see. So another wild push in here as Chapter 4 Academy is going reckless and pushing all the way up onto site almost immediately. But they are trading out here. Yukene and Shui both going down. Cora also finds Pay Dirt there with the Ghost. Doomsday responds with 2 kills there with the Frenzy, making it a 2-on-1 situation. But Ego picking things off, and now it's just JG who's been the star of the show so far to see if they can get an encore.
Big dink. Ego, though, he still only needs 1, but he looks the wrong way at the wrong time. That is unfortunate. JG, good gunplay as always. Of course, it's this guy to clutch out the round. Secure Chapter 4's 10th, and now only 1 more make that 3, but after this one, it's going to be a lot tighter as they surely are going to probably convert this round.
Yeah, that's another solid start here for Chapter 4. And it looks like GDG was looking like that spray right there. Certainly feel a little worse for wear. They are already hurting, and now with just 3 more rounds to give up, Chapter 4 Academy looking to steal those, not even steal, just take what they've earned at this point. GDG, and this is a crucial round. They have to make something happen here economically and try to remove as many guns as they can off Chapter 4. And Helios picks off Zell. It's not at all what you want to see for GDG to start things off. They've already lost their jet at the very beginning of the round once again.
That's like 20 seconds. That's not the ideal play. And even hearing the rotates, JG is so deep right now inside of mid, all the way back at Z, cutting off pretty much everything other than the people that have already ran across. But he's looking right now, and surely he's going to catch this Omen off guard. But no, the trigger discipline. This could be an absolute disaster. Takes the first head, and perhaps the second one doesn't need the headshot. Click Ship is going to be cleaning that one up that already crossed over into the site. But a 3rd kill from JG. 11 rounds now for Chapter 4. 2 left to take the map. But this is round 4. This is certainly not what I expected.
And there's that trigger discipline you were talking about there. You see Polar Cherry. Actually, the dark cover almost kind of screwing them over a little bit there because they're peeking in and out of that and wasn't sure, hey, are they actually going to commit going to this dark cover or not? I might as well get the kill while I can, but the aim worked out in JG's favor. 19 and 9, looking really solid here. But honestly, the entirety of Chapter 4 is, right? Like, they're all coming up on having double-digit kills here. 4 of the 5 members of the team are. We're going to see Gamer Duder guys coming out aggressively, and they just hit the floor hard. Again, losing 3 members of their team. I mean, certainly they didn't have a lot of, weaponry to work with here, so they're trying to force the issue, but still, this has been a pattern we've seen throughout this entire game. Chapter 4 Academy just running a little bit of a clinic here and teaching GDG a lesson.
2 versus 4, I mean, they're going to try for something. His teammate to shoot the door open, and not even... yeah, that's not much hope. Just wanted to try for some damage. Not even the first. And too far for a right click. Helios is going to clean that one up in Chapter 4 now. Map point, very, very quick. This is the fastest map we've had their entire day, and this is round number 4. That's
yeah,
unexpected to say the least. I don't know if it's me, but it tends to be all the games I ever cast are always one-sided. Like, I'm the anti-curse, right? Like, usually you see some people, I don't know, like Tumbiz or Ryan, like when they cast games, they just like, it's always like triple OT every single map, like best of 3, they go all 3 maps. For me, it's always like, if there's a best of 3, one team's winning in 2. If there's a best of 1, one team is winning like 13-0 or something like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry to Gamer Duder guys, but Chapter 4, they're playing exceptionally. I don't know what else to say. They're absolutely just team diffing right now, and this is a good entry for Gamer Duder guys. But Chapter 4, they've been known to recover from these kinds of things, so we'll see. This is an anti-eco, so maybe a bit of a chance for the latter. But there is a flash, and it's good for the time being. But can he convert? Because converting the 1, excuse me. Maybe a bit of a slip up from the side of Chapter 4, just like I slip up on words. But this one, surely, Gamer Duder guys are very, very looking good to win this one out.
Yeah, that was on a razor's edge right there. That Paranoia barely clipped the entry, and then they were able to shadow step their way into the dark cover. Doomsday picks up 2, and that'll get a flawless run. I think the first one there for GDG so far, and it comes at, I mean, at the most crucial of times. They needed that round desperately, of course, but they're still not out of the woods yet. Chapter 4 will still have 4 out of 5 agents on the rifles. And Ego, making things look really closer than we'd expect. But the op for Zell is going to be the X factor here, right? Like Zell needs to step up, use that op, get an early pick here, or at least push the advantage. Like make Chapter 4 scared to push around, just like GDG was afraid to push around on their attacking side, right? Like the op is not just, all right, you get kills on it, but it's also a fear factor behind it. It cuts down lanes, it cuts the map in half. You have to respect it. And JDG needs to keep that in mind as they push, as they have the defensive push here. And Doomsday start things off clean with the JG kill. And then there it is, Zell picking off Helios. It's exactly what you need to see. Polar Cherry follows up as well. 4-on-2 situation for GDG.
Oh, that's so many fast kills, and it's like you mentioned, the op being the linchpin of the round already with another frag. Yukine now, this should have nothing to say about this round. He's gonna get smoked off, fake TP to try and get someone looking the incorrect way, but there's a flash, and Doomsday, he just full clears it right past the smoke. Beautiful smoke placement by the defense. And Yukine 1-on-4 has the first, teleports into his own smoke, but it dissipates just at the wrong time and taken in the back by Ego. He knows exactly what the opponent Omen is going to be doing in that situation. So 5th round for Gamer Duty, guys. They keep themselves alive for the time being.
They will, and it looks like Chapter 4 will be able to get away with still a partial buy here. Helios and Korra, of course, are going to be all eyes on them, as well as Click Shift, but Helios especially because they will have the lockdown to work with here. So Chapter 4 will be able to kind of set the pace of a potential push by throwing that down. You have the null, I mean, you have the null command and the from the shadows for Gamer Dudes. So like those really aren't like super crucial ults to use here. And then of course you have on the other side, alongside that lockdown, you also have the Blade Storm. So utility wise, Chapter 4 is in perfect position to take this game right here.
Well, Ultimate and Shuhei surely needs to get out. He does run. A lot of delay being put down, smokes, Molotovs, every single thing, and even a kill to be had from Polar. A lot of damage done as well, trying to cross on over into lane. And they do manage to get on, but as KO taking damage, Sova and the Jet all taking bullets. Korra looking for the flank. No one's going to be there, but in a good position to prevent any sort of retake coming through that lane position. And now JG trying to get aggressive again against perhaps an operator. Just doesn't see. Oh, that's so unlucky. Misses the shots. That might be all done and dusted right now. Polar trying to complete what he started with at the beginning of the round, and Yukine and Korra, hold on a second. Maybe a bit of a chance for these attackers, but no. Shut down by Shuhei and Zell. Stereo kills to close out. And yet again, it got pretty tight there, but Gamer Duder guys, just by the skin of their teeth, end up closing that 6th.
Yeah, Chapter 4 Academy getting caught in the back sight. They didn't really, it's one of those things where you kind of force the issue onto the site in order to get the spike down, but as a result, you don't have the ability to hold all the entry angles, and you kind of put yourself into a hard pocket to hold. We've seen it time and time again on Ascent, and GDG does come out on top. They now have 3 unanswered rounds in a row. This half is now split down the middle with 3 rounds on both sides here, but that, I mean, aside from the fact that they needed that round desperately, they also held on to a lot of the guns they needed too. So GDG still has, you know, an operator to work with. They actually have 2 ops now. Ego now has an op as well. So they're really investing as hard as they can to take fights that are impossible for Chapter 4 to kind of win here. They're not trying to take fair fights at all. They don't want any kind of opportunity for Chapter 4 to push up in here. But again, margin of error is extremely small here for GDG.
Yeah, I mean, surely this guy, the problem with the Omen having an op is that he can't miss, right? And he's already done so once outside that mid. That allows Chapter 4 to get all the way up right behind his own smoke. And there goes the offensive smoke as well. So no vision. You can't spot anything. Very big problem for this guy. There is still another one, like you mentioned, but that is all the way on this A site. So no operator to play with for this first line of defense. And even a very big bait from the side of Chapter 4. Seemingly Gamer Duder guys are kind of taking it, but not quite. They're wise enough to understand that some noise made and nothing else means that they're probably going for this A exec, and Doomsday even popping this ultimate is not going to prevent anyone from crossing, but at least does prevent them from using their abilities to let Zell get a kill at the top of heaven. Korra goes down early, and he's still all the way up here with the operator, but he doesn't have a dash, not even close, and JG takes him out. 4-on-4 now, Spike getting planted for Chapter 4. This could be the chance that they need to close.
Spike will go down all the way in the corner here. Hell is also being held by JG. They have to find out where they're going to be as Polar Cherry finds out Helios. I think the peak's about to come out here too. Ego up on heaven, and there is the Killjoy coming out, or the Killjoy lockdown comes out from GDG. Meanwhile, Shuhei, big Shock dart, and then follows up with a second kill with the Vandal. JG also gets on the board. It's a 2-on-1 situation, and JG is by themselves, but can they clutch this out? They have a potential 1-on-1 to take here, but they have to commit and go up against, oh no, I think they saw the Sentry turret as a potential opponent and took the wrong 1v1. It does not go in their favor, and JDG slowly but surely bringing this back now within 4 unanswered rounds. They're somehow making this happen, and this is better late than never, right? Like, they are figuring things out at the perfect time to stay alive here. Chapter 4, again, needs one single round to win, and you can realize, all right, like, we can drop a couple rounds here. We just got to win one. Let's get our money back. Let's get rifles in the back of everyone and get back to what we were doing right here. I mean, the utility usage was great by Chapter 4 on that push, right? Like, they had the coverage. They had the bait, the utility came out, the shutdown angles, but when it came down to those actual aim moments, GDG came out on top.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is perhaps the side for GDG to actually do the comeback on, but Ego, a bit of a whiffed movement there, makes him go down right outside that market. He wanted to get back into that B site, but unfortunately for him, JG is going to be having a good gunfight against that Omen. And now, yet again, he's cutting off this mid-rotate, and even another operator perhaps doing some work, but with the attack, that is 2 great headshots, and Zell gets taken out, and now there's so many options right now for Chapter 4 to go. They could literally go all the way, wrap back towards A from the heaven position, and it looks like that's exactly what they want to do. There's a line of defense outside this A main, but Paranoia going through, no smoke to land on the A main arch just yet. And it seems like they still want to ask some questions. Don't know where these last remaining players are on the side of Gamer Duder, guys. So they want to be careful as they possibly can. Just deny any amount of comeback. But Shuhei makes it pretty realistic as he removes click shift, and finally with this smoke, this could be a problem. Doomsday, he walks through. What is going on? So much happening on the site, and he almost gets 2 with that, but now it's a 1-on-1. Shuhei denies for just the time being, but this is going to be so much pressure on him because he's at very, very low HP. Korra almost full. But the thing is, where is this Sova going to come from? That's the question that this offensive player has to ask from Chapter 4. He's got this Hunter's Fury, but Shuhei, there's no way he's going to let him use it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Korra couldn't get up into heaven in time, and now just gave away their position entirely. Like, they had the Hunter's Fury, but they could still get headshotted here. So, Korra, passive, and there it is! No way! It comes through! Yeah, gets put in. Korra comes out on top, sends the headshot their way. Don't even need the Hunter's Fury, and that's going to be a 13-7 victory for the Chapter 4 Academy squad.
Man, that's some good stuff. I gotta admit, that game got a lot closer than I really thought it would at the end of the first half, but you couldn't count Gamer Duder guys out. This kind of thing happened, I think, in the Opulence game as well. They were down, what, like 0-7 or something like that very early on, and they managed to bring it back into, like, again, like I mentioned, a CSGO overtime, 16-14. Some nuts stuff, and honestly, with the way the descent is so sided, I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to bring it all the way back. But unfortunately, that 1v1 is so darn difficult. The KO tried to do so much, and admittedly, I thought they honestly had a chance after this guy walks straight through 2 smokes and then takes 2 kills, like front and back, whatever the case. Very valiant effort, but JG at the top of the scoreboard, 23-15. This guy was doing so much work all around the defense and their offense for the side of Chapter 4. And at the end of the day, they get absolutely skilled. If this one was actually closer than the first game of the day, it did not end up looking like it would have been when we first started off. But Chapter 4, Gamer Duder guys, they made it pretty contested.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that first half, not looking great for GDG. The second half, a lot better. Both teams' defensive sides were overall the better portions of their gameplay in that map. But you could tell, like, the damage had been done by JG. Like, you get so many rounds off of that jet op. Like, that's where that margin of error comes into play. Like, you might figure things out in the second half, but you only have so many rounds to give up. Even if you're playing well, some rounds just might not go your way, and you can't give up as many as you would like because you lost 7 or 8 rounds, if not more, in the first half against a Jet who is just popping off on an operator. And then you can see Chapter 4, the utility usage was really strong. Then they made the most off of half buys and eco rounds as well. And yeah, that last unfortunate timing there, you had 2 ships passing each other in the dark through the dark cover, but ultimately it came down to the Sova v Sova, and it really didn't even come down to who had the altar, who had the most HP. It came down to who could click heads. And Korra did come out on top in that scenario. They will be moving forward. Chapter 4 has now gotten themselves a little bit of room in the top 4, and by that they have a quarter of that portion of the bracket. They're looking really solid as they move on throughout this Pit of Valor bracket.
Yeah, but for the time being, we will get the next game set up for you guys as soon as we possibly can. But we have to, of course, talk about what we got going on. I mentioned already that in the halftime, I'm pretty sure next 5 Pillar Valors being sponsored by MSI. These guys are absolutely amazing, giving us so many different pieces of hardware that we can give away, like the headsets that we're giving away this stream that we've already done. The next 4 streams upcoming for the next 4 weeks. That's going to be absolutely amazing. I am, yet again, I want one of those things, and unfortunately, I am stuck with this. So this is pretty good, but I mean, the GH50 looks absolutely beautiful, as you guys can probably see in all our ad sponsors. But yeah, so next 5 weeks, GLG is sponsored by MSI to get you some new gear with that headset, everything else, and of course, GLG CC. If you're in it, you get the chance to win a $25 Valorant gift card every single week, and that's probably like the best deal that we've had in a very long time, considering the store right now has the Endeavor pack that is just what, $30. That's the cheapest skin pack that we've had in quite a while. So that's like 90% of that skin pack right there. So you guys want to win that. So if you want to not only lock in your spot in every single Wednesday tournament that we have, our Pit of Valors, but also have a chance to maybe get a free Endeavor pack, go ahead and join the GLCCC. Super cheap, and exclamation mark giveaway in chat for more details on all the stuff that I just mentioned. But of course, the Pit of Valor Invitational that we have coming up, how to be invited is win the Pit of Valor. So the tournament winner that we have here today is just going to straight up be invited. All champions are going to be invited, even if the team gets disbanded, which is pretty interesting. I like the sound of that one. But triple the prize pool of our weeklies, so $150. First place wins 5 keyboards by MSI, so every single member on the team gets a keyboard. That's a good deal. Type exclamation mark invitational in chat if you want more details on that one. And we have a year-long giveaway for a membership to the GLGCC. So like I mentioned before, the free $25 in Valorant points that you can have a chance to win. If you win the giveaway, if you win this giveaway, you have a chance to enter that every single week as well. So what a wonder. That's already happened, I'm pretty sure. So after round 2 today, but follow us on Twitter and join the Discord, like I mentioned before, exclamation mark Twitter, and we have a Discord that you can probably find in the about us section below. But if you want to keep an eye out for new giveaways like that, that is where you can find that kind of information. And last but not least, I'm very jealous of Strive, of course. Early on, he actually showed off his socks that we got from GLG.
Yes.
I do not have any yet. I will probably be ordering some very, very soon. But for the time being, like you mentioned, it's summer, so it's getting a bit harder, unfortunately, for the time. But still, I mean, you can wear this anytime you want. It doesn't really matter. Maybe you have a cold basement or something like that, and you can
Always
have
good
those to warm up your
representing.
feet. So good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got so much coming up. We have, of course, this 5 weeks of MSI. We have the weekly Pit of Valor, the invitations. You said, of course, the GLG launch party on April 20th. There's so much more. And not only that, we have our next matchup coming your way on the other side of this break. So don't go anywhere. More Pit of Valor will be on the other side. So stay tuned.
It is not, but honestly, I don't think it matters. right now it's Aru against the world, able to get one here if they are able to clutch this out. This is going to be sure. Trying it! Oh, and that was looking really close for Aru. Aru might have just been able, but now it's 12 to 7.
Matchup, as they would probably like it. God, never mind as a double galactic comes out from one op shot. Beautifully played, as it is already a 4 versus 1 off the side of NMG. Quite credit. He does not, but honestly, I don't think it matters.
Make it quick though. Spotted. The tanks could be here. Holding these shoulders. They're gonna play hand in hand. Frosty just rotating with Zaker right now. It's a dance. It's ringing around the Rosie, and ZK's been leading the whole time.
They were doing a bit of a tango there. Oh my goodness. It was ultimately a dance of death, though, at least for side of MMG to trade, take the victory, and victory lap.
That's what we see here. Out of the Jets out mid. Market, they have an opening. Moina splitting attention here. Zona dart on the inside. Moina's gonna get tagged, but nobody checks it. Moina flies to the gravity well, pulled him still.
Oh no, Moina would run away as well as 3 the other way from the jet.
On the other side, nobody can tame these duelists.
Name's posters.
Underwater kick, Valora makes it happen.
There's so little time left. I don't know if we're gonna replay that, but I mean, it might have been just a few seconds on the clock when the final crash came through. But man, this shot took the lead. I'm surprised that we didn't see anything. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, literally 2.5 seconds left. And Aura gets those last. It was kill or nothing. Kill or lose the
Throwing that down before the kick came through for the spike. It was weird timing at that, but I mean, Aru did what they needed to do through. But right now, Aru against the world, they're able to get one here if they are able to clutch this out. This is going to be around the corner and the door. Driving! Oh, that was really close for Aru. Aru might have just been able, but now we're going to be 12 to 7 here. Matchup.
As they would probably like it. God, never mind as a double galactic comes out from one hot shot. Beautifully played, and it is already a 4 versus 1 off the side of NMG. Quite credit. Honestly, I don't think it matters.
They were doing a bit of a tango there. Oh my goodness. It was ultimately a dance of death, though, at least for side of MMG.
market. Curry is in trouble. Pendez realizes they both fall to sight. CJB for the one. Blade Storm. Juicy. Pendez for the one. Dismiss. Oh! That's beautiful. Yeah, repeat. Another greedy repeat, Carrick.
Oh. It's not, but honestly, I don't think it matters.
Spotted. Ready to be here. Watch the shoulders. We got hand in hand. Frosty just rotating. Say right now it's a dance. Ring from the Rosie. And DK's been leading the whole time.
They were doing a bit of a tango there. Oh my goodness. It was ultimately a dance of death, though, at least for the side of MMG. Has betrayed the victory. And victory lap at the cap.
That's what we're seeing here. Out of the Jets out mid.
We are turning pages here to a new chapter as we saw number 4 take the win 13-7 against their opponents of Gamer Duder, guys. But for the time being, we have Omnipotent Gaming yet again on the broadcast. Last time we saw them 13-11 over the course of No Names. Currently not entirely No Name because they put up a decent fight against Omnipotent. But this time going up against a very interesting roster, if I can say so myself, Dak. They're called... brace
You
yourself.
got it?
We Slay MILFs. It's, don't know if they're also fans of Flogs, but whatever the case, we do have these guys here today. This is going to be an interesting matchup between these two guys, and not only that, but on none other than a new map that we haven't seen today. We have Icebox.
Oh, all right. Fresh off some map changes. We slay MILFs. Can they slay their opponents? That's just low-hanging fruit right there. Omnipotent Gaming, yeah, they were a team that looked like they might have gone to OT as well up against No Names for sure. They did eke it out just in time, and they have had a run right through. Of course, this is all best of one bracket here, right? So there's no opportunity like, okay, we can condition our opponent a little bit, we can download them a little bit, we can, lose the map here and come back later. Like, that's it. You got to make it happen. So if you made it this far, you've made it into the top 4, clearly something's working for you, especially for both these two teams. But we've seen a lot of ascent, right? We've seen maps that seem like, they're historically comfort picks for a lot of these teams. Icebox is certainly not one of them. This map has been getting banned pretty early for a lot of these teams throughout the brackets. So to have them now come to Icebox, it tells me that both these teams either have something to work off of, that they have something prepared for this map, or they're trying to just throw their opponents off and hope that they don't have something prepared.
For sure, and we can pretty much see decently. We're going to get into the agent select. I mean, most of these agents have already been locked in from the side of, I think that's Weasley? I'm going to say Wesley like 8 million different times, so I apologize in advance for that one, but these guys are quite quick. Hero, Fabio, Will, Freelord, and Nani already with the very, very swift locks, and everyone in their opponent team of Omnipotent is hovering on the Sage, hovering on the Sova. There goes a Sage lock, and Twist is going to be hovering that Chamber, so there's not really too many surprises. Not quite a mirror comp that we have in this matchup, but pretty decently close to it, other than the fact that we have double smoker on the side of Weasley, which is, I'd say, unconventional. I like the idea. You don't really see too many teams doing it, but we're gonna have to see these guys taking a lot of different map control with the capability that they do have. Hopefully, that's what we're gonna get to see showing from these guys. But on the side of OP Gaming, Omnipotent, they don't need it. They don't need the map control. They have the Sage. So if anything, they have a wall. They have a couple slows. They have a res even. So maybe getting a bit more aggressive, not really taking control with utility, but more so with their weapons that we saw today earlier. So we'll see what they can do against Weasley. We'll see if they turn into MILFs that get slain, or if they can manage to come out on top once again and take it to our last best of one of the day.
Yeah, the evolution of MILFdom out here. The Weasley MILFs are going to make something of their opponents, that's for sure. And coming into this one, Omnipotent Gaming, yeah, I would say that they have, on paper, the more aggro composition. Like, they don't have a lot of fallback plans. Like, when you're looking at Weasley MILF's, composition, like, they can fall back on the Viper, they can fall back on a bunch of smokes they can throw down. They have, a chamber as well. But when you look at Omnipotent Gaming, like, they look like they're going to be playing aggressive. They're going to run in, get a Sage wall down, cut off parts of the map. They're going to have that jet thrown in there. And that slight difference in composition really might make all the difference.
And that's straight into A site. This is usually the site that most teams end up taking. So for pistol round or whatever other round, it doesn't even matter. A site is widely considered to be the weaker one, but Hero wants to have something to say about it early on, tries to go for an aggressive peek, doesn't manage to land the shots, but gets a lot of information and a lot of damage done by the shot darts, I'm pretty sure, and even more with the gun from the Sova. Very nice shots from the back of the site. Hero even cleans one of those kills up onto Honest, but Bubbles trades it right back, and stuck in the corner now. Hero's gonna remove him right after that, and even the flank getting taken out by Freelord. Twist is good for that kill, and they go right back onto the B site. Still an even man count, low HP for the Sage, but yet again, because of that agent, there is some potential for a heal, but they are likely going to be going for this plant very soon after this wall goes down.
Spike
Ooh.
down.
I have the spike.
We'll see what can be done outside of this dark cover here. Twiz wants to make something happen, but can't fully commit. And Rizze, now on the other side of this wall, it's 75 HP in a dream. Has the brain as their gun buddy, but can they show some wrinkles? And they do. Nice right click, putting some more down. Has to reload, and then Will FPS makes the better of it with 22 HP, but the ghost was really the big difference there. Just a classic,
enough
unfortunately,
bullets.
too much. Yeah, enough bullets as well. Like that, just that, a game of numbers there, and it works out for We Slay MILFs.
Dang, well, numbers, speaking of, that's one round. Of course, not too many, but Omnipotent is going to be down at least one. So we'll see what they do. I don't know if they're actually going to go for a force here. Yeah, they are. They, pretty sure they actually won the round 2 Thrifty versus No Namers earlier in this very tournament, but this time they don't even want to go for a Thrifty. They're just going for a buy. They doesn't matter for them. Twist has the Headhunter that he's probably fully invested in at this point. Everyone else has an SMG and light armor, and for the time of We Slay MILFs, I'm gonna say, again, I took some time there just to make sure I didn't say Wesley, but they have, I don't even know if that's a better or worse buy. They've got a Bulldog, but they've also got a Ghost on Hero and a Marshal on Freelord, so he has to land these headshots because everyone's got armor. It's not like it's a free second round op right now for him, so he's got to be very, very true on his shot. Twist now spots it out, understands what gun is on the other end of his engage, and Freelord even wants to back his way out, but no, Tonky has made his way across already. The headshot gets missed, and right back at the back of B goes Freelord.
Fabio takes control of mid. Some really great work with that Spectre and falls back. Not going to force the issue and really has no means to do so. There's a Viper waiting on the other side of that channel there. So meanwhile, Donkey Kong's going to back up here and coalesce around this spike that's down on the ground, or at least being held here by the Sova. Bubbles also waiting. That's that Viper that was on the other side of Fabio, who had also continued to back up over towards A site. And now here we're going to have the push coming out. Here comes the Viper wall, goes down, and that spike should be pushed down. But Donkey Kong takes a lot of damage in doing so, forced to use the heal. And now on the other side of a really sticky situation with this wall in the way, and we'll have not enough HP to win the duel against Will FPS. Nani also gets on the board, bolt trading Will for a second kill, and looking for a third, has eyes on the spike until that Viper wall comes back up. The Bulldog, it does so much damage. Bubbles will trade out with Hero, and that will be enough for a second round win in a row here for We Slay MILFs to start this one off on Icebox.
Big econ damage onto OP as well. None of them are going to be able to buy because of the force last round. They all just basically just sent it, went for it. Light armor for Twist, probably just going to have the Headhunter yet again to work with. And there's a bunch of Sheriffs on everyone, but this one's going to be tough if they couldn't win that round on pretty much what was, you could call it an even playing field for both teams. Now they're on the low buy. And yet again, you never know. They did end up winning the round versus No Namers on this kind of buy. Maybe they don't need the guns. We'll see if they can actually take this one. But they're going to be running into the bolstered site for We Slay. 3 players here. Sova is going to just rotate right back in the mid as soon as any action is spotted at the top of belt. And there's a lot of noise being made. Shot missed. So maybe an opportunity for the attack of Omnipotent. But there is big bullet landed onto that jet that burns out that heal from the Sage. Headshot exchange from both teams. Honest goes down, but Twist takes off Freelord's head before that even happens. So it's still a 4-on-4. The drone's going to spot him out. And it's still stuck outside this A main. They can't manage to work their way in, and they really don't want to go back either. They want to go for this commit, and they're getting flanked.
Yeah, a solid response here, though. Oh, Donkey Kong is going to try to play this and go out, and gets caught immediately by Hero. So Now if the flank wants to come out, it can, but there's almost no reason to pressure this because you're forcing essentially you're splitting your team in half by doing so if you commit to this flank. And now here comes the attack, but Fabio holding it down strong. Bubblies does trade off of it, but now it's a 3-on-2 situation. Weasley can continue to trade here. OP, Bubbles, looking OP out here and gets away with 3 HP, then re-peaks, but Will again with the Bulldog. Just this really low, these really low round scores here coming out with the Bulldog has been really crucial. I mean, really effective against these pistols and against these lower buys. You're able to hold, you're able to hold angles with the Bulldog really well. You can play a little more mobile with it. Like you can do it's a flexible, low-cost gun that is working really well when you know your opponents don't have rifles to work with. So Will has been pushing that really well. 7-0 already in the first 3 rounds, and Omnipotent Gaming have already found themselves slipping and sliding a little bit here on Icebox without getting enough traction to really get an effective attack push.
Yeah, that is such a strong showing from the Omen on the side of Weasley. That is 2 players on the side of Omnipotent combined and inverse. Let's just put that into perspective. 2 people on Omnipotent are 0-3 right now. That is some crazy numbers right now for the Omen on Weasley, and he's got the ultimate up because he's got so many kills. Hasn't died a single time. All of those ult points are from frags. And so we'll see what he can do with it because he likely will need it in this round because the ice is just being taken right now. Honest at the back takes Nani's head off. Twist with yet another kill. Clean site taken. A safe plant for Bubbles, which means they have to stay on the site if they want to play this one, and it looks good for them so far because they've gotten every single frag.
Honest was the standout player for Omnipotent in their previous broadcast game. I'm not surprised they're finally starting to step up a little bit. But that was so smart, right? Because when you put a wall down, what do you expect the other team to do? To shoot the wall. So they're not going to be looking to hold an angle. They're not looking to shoot at anybody. They're looking to put that ice down, and immediately Honest pushed up, recognizing that they can get away with at least 1 kill. They got more than that because the other team was so focused on taking that wall down. And sure, they got a break in the wall, but they also lost a lot of players with their knees. So really well played by Omnipotent to condition the defense and get that first round win here. Not only that, they're going to do it with only losing a single agent. So that's a really solid round win there for Omnipotent to keep things a bit closer, not only on the round score, on the score line, but also economically. As we slay Mills, they have a little bit of money in the bank, but they're going to have to rebuy for the most part. So now things are a bit more even.
Yeah, they're going to build even more on the side of Omnipotent as well, because Twist, the only guy that went down, isn't actually going to invest. He's got the Tour de Force 4-4 right now, so we'll see what he can do with the sniper. Maybe able to pad the stats a little bit more. There's a sniper on both teams, an opposing op, no ultimate for Freelord, but he's at least got the one-shot kill weapon anyways. But yeah, the side of Weasley, if they lose this round, this might be a bit of trouble for their money, but there goes the Tour de Force in the hands of the offensive chamber. Do they check Will? They know he's here. They have to at least. He shot out that little drone, and now holding. Yeah, he gets out. There's no way he wants to risk. And Falby with the good cover takes out Honest very early on. Great entry for Weasley, baiting themselves into this long B, and now they just drop right on back and make sure no one else is pushing onto this yellow, and no one is for the time being until that drone goes down.
Will going to be the first one to be the point of contact here and see if they can get some information on this eventual attack, which looks like Omnipotent is going to back off of a little bit. Maybe get a quick kill from Rize and then reconsider things, but Omnipotent is not entirely committed to this just yet. They're still lingering around. Most likely they're going to go for it, but they have the chamber who is opening up mid a little bit, so they could swing back to go to A if they want to. It really comes down to who's going to get that first contact here. If Rize is going to find Will, Will's going to be able to swing out and get the better of them as they throw out a paranoia. They're not going to commit to doing that just yet, but now time is starting to go on Weasley's side. They're going to get caught out here by the recon dart, and they're going to push out, and they did get the paranoia down, but Rize gets the better of Will, and now Twiz going to push up there. Will be able to have the rendezvous to fall back if need be. Tonky Kong's going to put that spike down with 13 seconds remaining. 4-on-4 situation, and there's no flank coming out as the Viper's going to be pushing on below tunnel and below tube. So this is now coming down to who can shoot through these smokes first. You can see the tour de force and the ops trading here. It's a 3-on-3 situation now. Time's ticking. Fabio wading through the darkness, gets one, but Bubbles trades off, gets a second one. Nani not in position to capitalize, and Bubbles instead finds 3 in a row with a huge advantage, that home territory in between the smoke. And that is going to be another round, 2 in a row here from Nipitit.
Good stuff from Omnipotent. Everything so far looked like it went well for them. Bubbles is getting that triple kill, and of course Arce taking Will out the back of that yellow position. Not only did he get the better of him in terms of the gunplay, but the guy got pinged by the Sova Dart. And most people, I don't think, are fully aware of the fact that you can actually be seen through near sights when you're like Sova pinged, when you're Cypher pinged, all of that stuff. Because when a near sight, the things aren't flashbangs. You're not blind. You can just see in front of you, like by a few feet. And if you're pinged with wall hacks, you can see past the shadow. That is some beautiful stuff. Great timing on the dart. And Bubbles even following up on this round as well, trying to entry. There's another dart, speaking of wall hacks. And Freelord, this is absolutely nothing that he can do at that point. There's up against 5 players. I don't think he knew exactly how many were there, but at this point he's going to find out, see, and hear all the footsteps on the death camera. And Nani does not want to fight that, wants to just stay safe. And instead, Heroes is going to get taken out by Bubbles once again, trying to flank through mid and maybe meeting yet another kill. Fabio has a pistol out, but chips in the night. They pass each other, and Nani's the one to get that frag as well. At least they get 1 out of this round, but it's a 2-on-4 deck. I don't know about this for Weasley, but they're at least going to try for something.
If I was a betting man, I probably won't use the Hunter's Fury here. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but who knows? I've seen wilder things. No, now at this point, there's no point. Yeah, Honest is going to pop that Nani kill, gets a second one. This is the Honest that I was watching earlier in the night, who's starting to pop off and starting to hit their stride here. It's looking a lot stronger now as it's 3 in a row. But look at that. Look at the ults ready to go here. Weasley Mills has 4 out of 5 to work with, but Honest has the Blade Storm, and you have the res from Donkey Kong. Those are more than enough really to work with. I mean, sure, like you have Viper's Pit that can come down. The Tour de Force is likely going to be popped by Freelocks. Fabio has the Hunter's Fury, and then those are really your key ultimates here to work with. But I think Omnipotent has more than enough to deal with that, especially if the Blade Storm pops off. But having the res could really work out, especially if that Tour de Force starts to become deadly.
Big position by Will. They didn't get checked by the drone. It was shot out by that Tour de Force, and not quite landing the shot. But can he have another chance? He gets another opportunity, but it's the aforementioned player of Twist that just takes both heads off that long B position. Very nice gunplay from this guy, and even a wrap up through Kishin. Maybe the Viper finds at least 1, and Bubbles finds 2 even before he gets shut down, and the res happens on the site. That's a massive man advantage for Omnipotent going in this post plant.
And it goes down just like that. Honest again with the op to clean things up. And you still have the Hunter's Fury being held by Fabio here. So not everything burned by Weasley Milfs in that loss. Meanwhile, Honest still has the Blade Storm, and Rize also has their Hunter's Fury as well. Donkey Kong did use the res, and quite honestly, it probably wasn't even really necessary whatsoever. Like they had a major player advantage. So probably was just burned just in good measure, but hey, it's better to be safe than sorry. Omnipotent now 4 in a row, unanswered rounds. Weasley Mills has to figure things out because now the economic situation for them is looking kind of dire here. They're on a half buy, and that clips Hero though at 30 HP. They're gonna have a Marshal of their own, but they might have to rethink peeking again.
Whoa, okay, 2 unreal shots. That first leg shot, and then Nani just peeking and just deleting the operator off that long B. Don't know how that one works out, but if he can land those shots, he's gonna need a lot more of that if Omnipotent are going to end up losing this round. But Weasley, good start, but only with the weaker weapons. So far, Nani, the worst weapon in the round, has already got a frag, so if everyone can follow up, this could be something for the low buy, but right now all the utility being thrown out and the plant getting planted all the way in the deep safe corner. But there's a Hunter's Fury, like you mentioned, they had this all along, and it takes out Bubbles from this deep position, and it's another one as well. That is so much value, and even that last frag just absolutely deleted Donkey Kong. Nothing for him to say, nothing for him to say so far in this entire map, but this round is not going to be him finding his way on the scoreboard. 4-4 all tied up.
That was another really solid play there by We Slay Milfs, playing off of the stage. Well, this time they played off the stage wall, right? Like last time we saw Omnipotent playing with a really smart play off of their own stage wall and Honest capitalizing on it. Now this time, We Slay Milfs kind of realizes, okay, why is that wall going down? Because the spike's going to get planted. Well, I know exactly where they're going to be because of where the wall is positioned. I'm going to let this Hunter's Fury loose. Not only that, they got 2 kills off of that, and then Twist pops up for the 3rd one. So that's really well played there by We Slay Milfs, tying things up. Now, this is the kind of matchup we're expecting here. It's 4-on-4 on the scoreline, looking really solid, and both of these teams are trying to expend whatever they can to stay in this. But coming into this round, it's a ultimate advantage for Omnipotent. They're up 3-1 here on ults. Still the Blade Storm for Honest, and Rizze still has the Hunter's Fury ready to go.
Well, up. But it's only the Viper to work up. Ooh, fake pits. Love to see that. It's a lot of attention, and so many players from We Slay are rotating over. That's 4 people. 4 people in the jet. Maybe something to say about mid? No, he tries to cut off the rotate, but Twist, good on the gunfight, just absolutely removes him. And once again, another operator battle won by the Rifler, and even up in spawn. Oh, honest, a bad timing on the jump, but at least he gets a lot of space. Calls out for the team that a lot of people are rotating in from the spawn, but Donkey Kong, there he finds his way onto the scoreboard, taking up the top frag on the side of We Slay Milfs. Will goes down, and Twist doing so much. The drop shot, called his Call of Duty, and Nani tries to clutch out the 1 versus 4, but straight through the wall. What? That is unreal from this guy. Twist almost acing, but no, it's the Sage steal that away before he even gets his 3rd, but even still, great performance from this chamber to win out that round for Omnipotent. That is absolutely amazing.
That's when you turn the game sense to aim sense right there. Maybe a little bit of help from the comms as well, but Twiz was right on it right there. That was perfect. Donkey Kong doing a solid amount of work as well, as you pointed out, taking out Will FPS, their top fragger, during all of that, and then Twiz coming in to clean things up. So really solid play by Omnipotent, and look at that. They still have the ult advantage, even coming out on top of that one. So they are holding on to utility, and they're holding on to their ults and making things work the old-fashioned way. We Slay Milfs, though, of course, not even remotely out of it, and this is a really even first half. Omnipotent really just looking to see what they can get done on attack as much as they can here, but We Slay Milfs hasn't found that footing just yet, even though they're only down by 1 round. Like, some of these rounds are going really strongly for Omnipotent. They're not necessarily, like, super close rounds at all, so We Slay Milfs now going to try and figure things out. There goes the rendezvous, putting down, and that wall does not come up even nearly enough. Nani does get traded, but did get the kill onto his first up. Honest gets that first kill to trade. Bubbles follows up. The spike does go down, and now Omnipotent Gaming have the advantage of 4-on-3, and Fabio going to try and trim them off at the heels a little bit here. Gets some advantage, gets a little bit of intelligence, gets a little bit of recon, gets going, but they're going to be cut off by all these smokes, going to be cut off by all this acid in the way, and it's Hero with 4 HP, who unfortunately cannot get much done after that as Bubbles clears things up. And now Omnipotent, again, another resounding win there, keeping 4 of their players alive to take that one, and holding on to most of their ultimates.
Yeah, what a round as well. That's so difficult for Hero to win at that point. I mean, he's trying his best. He can't even go for the fights because there's so much stuff in between him and their opponents, but so many players left alive just throwing everything, smokes, mollies, and bullets especially. That's probably the biggest threat when you're on the spikes trying to defuse. So valiant effort, but not quite enough. We Slay on a very weak buy at this point with a Judge, probably the best weapon they have in their entire arsenal outside this B long, and going to be running into Omnipotent, but a very quick play up this A. 2 players top belt already, looking for a fast flank, but how much can they really do? Because Bubbles already removing 1, but now Hero on the back lines, he lands 1, and maybe a second one. Big whip under his. That's not exactly what you want to see. Right clicks from the classic are going to land, kind of. Low HP on the Sova, maybe able to get 1 more, but Honest, nope, this takes him out. Very quick on the trigger, quick on the transfer, and Omnipotent have confirmed the first half win.
Last round in the half.
Yep, they will at least take it. 7-5, could be 8-4. Now they have another streak going once again. It's 3 unanswered rounds here for Omnipotent, and at this point, they're all but confirming that they're going to get this next round. Look at that, like, look at the ult advantage right here. I mean, Bubbles might even be able to get the Viper's Pit before the round ends, but you're going to get that Tour de Force ready to go. Blade Storm for Honest. You have the Hunter's Fury to hold the post plant if you need to, and then, of course, you have the res. So this is all looking on paper to Omnipotent, but Freelocks will also have the Tour de Force if they get a single kill here. And if they can do that, that might even the odds just a little bit. And there it is, right there. Op picks up
Down,
the
B.
kill on Donkey Kong, so they'll have access to their ultimate as well. And they move right in, and Arze didn't even see it coming. Omnipotent falls down to 3 agents.
What speed. Freelord, this is exactly the strength of this Tour de Force, and it chimes in from Twist as well. But who's going to win this battle right here outside the spawn? The timing is so good for the chamber on Weasley. They're going to go right back. Bubbles, though, does take one out, so tries to even up the man count. And this long-range angle, Twist has every right to win this fight right now, unless the chamber peaks from the defense. But Nani, maybe they want a double swing. They're so hesitant, but smart for the defense because they know this chamber was outside this A main at some point in the round. Doesn't even matter where he comes to at this point. No one's inside this A, and the spike has not been planted. They have control of it on this long B, so somehow, some way, these 2 players on Omnipotent have to try and work their way in, and the sniper even looking all the way into spawn from Freelord. If he gets the timing right, there should be something good happening, but he's behind the smoke right now. Maybe a bit of an issue. Doesn't need to be seen. Fire straight in the corner, and now the gun out. Rifle is not good enough to win the fight on Nani. And Bubble is now in a 1 versus 2, but only a 1v1 right now for the time being, but he surely doesn't have enough time to get to the site, right? There's a player defending, also getting flanked. He has to just go for a plant, and now surely that is the round. He's got 1 at his back, and Honey has the freest kill that he's had in his life. 5 to 7, at least Weasley keep it close.
That was a sliver of hope there, potentially getting the jet, but yeah. This is some free gameplay right here. Moves in. And with the the quick scope, Arze did not even remotely ready for that one. Might have thought they were, but just unable to keep things going. And yeah, that's going to be the half. 7 to 5, and it looks like they've tuned things up, and they've certainly tuned the volume up. Now they could be doing that if they had this awesome GH5 headset to make sure they hear absolutely everything. That's brought to you by MSI. So if you want to get your hands on that. I mean, there's you can see what that is. That's a big QR code right on your screen there, folks. So I would say you want to whip out your phone, you want to put it up to your screen, and you want to make magic happen. Technology, it's 2022. Get on it.
I actually, believe it or not, I didn't have a phone that could use QR codes until this year, or at the end of last year. My old Android couldn't handle it. I don't know why. I would show it to the camera and just be like, "What is this?"
Boomer phone.
I don't know what to do with that.
Happens.
Yeah, old phone. Maybe old as a Freelord could be, because his name is Lord, but he gets removed, so Landlord being taken out, uprooted, and instead it's entirety of Omnipotent getting uprooted from the A site, evicted from their own home, and now Bubble is trying to take it back. He wants to visit maybe the government office and try and make an argument for something, and he actually does land a decent one on a will. That's something to say about what has happened on this side of the map, and they work their way in, but they have to win these fights. They've got space advantage and they've got space control, but Bubble is walking his way up. Can he win the first duel? Not quite. 1-on-3 now, and just dies to the molly. Nice try by Arce, just sticking the spike, but no way they let you, even with the low HP. That Viper's molly is enough to win out that round.
You know, I mean, despite the score line, I would say Weasley Mills is a pretty solid defensive comp. So when now you're on attack, you have a little bit more to play with on, you know, on the retake from the other team, right? Like the post plant situation now also becomes something that you can excel in. And when you have a lot of smokes to work with as the post plant holders, and then you also have the Viper poison, the Ask that's going to be down on the ground ready for you, like that makes it really hard for Omnipotent. They kind of have to tread lightly in the retake situation. You can see right there they had some trouble doing so against Weasley Milf. So we'll see if Weasley Mills can continue to get these plants down, the retakes will continue to go their way.
Oh, I mean, wow.
I didn't have to get that far.
How did that last kill happen? I think Freelord got the kill first in the kill feed, but Arce still had the pistol frag on one of his teammates. Interesting. Yeah, there's not much to say about it.
Certainly a sheesh moment right there. Things are tied up 7 to 7. Omnipotent take the first 2. They have 3 unanswered coming from the first half, and they will use that advantage to get a little bit of a bonus round here, right? They're gonna see how long they can take this going. Meanwhile, We Slay Mills does not want to let momentum go out of their in anyone's favor. They're gonna force this by, and they have rifles in all hands of their players. So this is now a crucial round here for We Slay Mills. They don't want to lose much against this bonus round from Omnipotent.
Running 4-man strong onto this site, and they're very fast up. It's been 15 seconds, and Hero's already on top of 410, and Honest spotted. He has to try and keep his life. Oh, maybe good timing, but no. Valor saves the life of Honest, excuse me, of Hero, and he's sitting in the middle of the site. Donkey Kong does get the second kill of his career so far, so very nice stuff to try and open up this A. Nani making his way all the way to the top ropes, literally and metaphorically. Has spotted one with Twist one onto his teammate. Still good enough for the Viper, and now it's all up to the aforementioned chamber. Twist in a 1 versus 4 virtually. How much can he find? Spraying in. What's the timing for the Viper? That's a big flash. Surely now he's done for. No, not quite. Okay, had a chance there, but Will very quick on the trigger. Angles Twist out of the round, and now 8-7. Weasley finally take the lead once more.
Yeah, Twist kind of played that as best as you could. I mean, the paranoia was certainly unfortunate, but once you have that huge amount of gas in your way, you want to try to force one-on-ones. Like, all right, 3-on-1, really just 3 one-on-ones if I can make that happen. Fortunately, they just couldn't get the right angle. They got hit by the paranoia, so they kind of had to keep moving. If you stand still, you're almost asking to get killed. And We Slay Milfs. We'll take that one. That's now 3 in a row here. 4 of them. Now 4, I'm sorry, I think I might have called that for Omnipotent earlier, but it's 3 in a row for them now. We Slay Mills on the attack, looking solid. And for a composition that I felt like was a little stronger on the defense, I mean, they're certainly again, it's them getting to the post plant has just been so well for them. The second they get that post plant down, like, they're looking so solid.
Oh, I mean, that's a fast post plant. That's a 20-second post
There it is.
That's, I mean, if Dak is to be believed, then this should be a very convincing round. They've already got an entry kill. 20 seconds in the round, and there's a plant, and the first defuse attempt deleted. Honest tries to keep it so, but Weasley even more so.
Wow.
Will from mid, and it's so clean. Like, they don't lose a single player. They take a bunch of damage on the Sova, but that is the worst of the damage that they have to inflict. 9-7, and Omnipotent so far do not have answers.
Oh, they certainly do not. They're kind of scrambling a little bit in those situations. Like, there's so much cover in the way. There's so many angles they're taking away too. And We Slay Milfs is letting the action kind of come to them at times. But on the other hand, you're seeing how aggressive they are to get the spike down. They're not letting Omnipotent kind of set up, maybe get a wall up or just throw cover down or like recon. Like, no, before you can even use utility, We Slay Milfs is already on the site. They're already pushing you, and they're forcing you to make a decision. And We Slay Mills wants that. They want to take control of the pace of the map. They want to take control of conditioning Omnipotent. And so far, it's resulted in them not only swinging things back in their favor, but taking the lead and now stacking upon it. Now, this time, they're moving a little bit slower, which I think is smart, right? Like, you don't want to get too carried away. Like, only so many times you can kind of push really aggressively, but also you know that Omnipotent potentially has some utility and ults ready for you, but Freelo right here is going to be looking to make something happen with his Tour de Force, and does so right through the heart. Arze goes down. That's a big pickup there, so way less intelligence can be gathered now by Omnipotent. And that first pick, they can just continue to default off of this and push up. That default worked up really well. And somehow Hero didn't get that kill. Donkey Kong, though, comes back, is like, no, I'll help you out there, and just comes back and repeaks and dies. Spike goes down, and it's a 4-on-2 situation here for We Slay Mills. Make it 4-on-1.
What a fortunate entry. 4-on-1, like you mentioned. And this should be pretty much done. Nani has the back covered. Bubbles finds his doppelganger, instead doesn't find him. In fact, it's the other way around. That's a nice entry. Curious, again, I don't know how Donkey Kong managed to not only survive, Honest also missed the shot on the player that worked all the way up maze, and then they both end up repeaking and dying. So nice, good stuff from Weasley to be able to punish all those over aggressions. But I say over aggression. No, they're in the site. So, and then Omnipotent still end up. I feel like that you gotta call that a bit of a blunder, right? They end up missing the shots and they go right back into it, and they still lose the gunfights. And Weasley, once again, you see those mistakes, you take advantage of them. And OP, they want to try and not make those again. Talk something out. I mean, what do they have right now to work with? They've got $2,000 in the bank for most of their players. The best one is Arce at 3.3. So this one's likely not going to be a force buy. I don't, not even close. I don't see them
No.
going for this one. So maybe a stack somewhere, maybe up mid again. It didn't work out a couple rounds ago, but you never know. Maybe Weasley put their guard down. Maybe the shots end up landing this round from Omnipotent instead of before. They have a Viper's Pit, so if anything, you could pop that on a site and just leave everyone else to stack the other one. But it's still going to be very, very difficult if anything. But it looks like it doesn't even seem to be that. They seem to just want to default and play 2-on-2, perhaps. One, leave the Viper towards B, and maybe with the Pit has some potential. But Weasley with a massive advantage in bubbles, even with a hero rifle. This is curious.
Yeah,
They're investing.
This
forcing
is
on
risky right here for OP, right? Like they lose this convincingly, and they are going to be so behind economically. Weasley Mills might even take the whole map because of it. So they have to make something happen here, and they're not stacking either, right? Like you said, they're defaulting on this this half buy. So they're trying to win duels against all rifles, which is easier said than done. And not only that, they need to spread the love. Like, almost everyone from OP needs to get a kill here so they can get ultimates. That's really the biggest mission that they have, is to get everyone as many ultimates as they can. And Nani, I playing with their food a little bit here. Bubbles has no idea. And they're going to just ring around the Rosie a little bit. There's the Viper's Pit. Nani's still waiting. Oh, no, it's not after all of that. Thankfully, Fabio comes in and helps out. That's one you're not going to post on the refrigerator right there, that play. But now going to be a 3-on-3 situation, so this is not looking too bad for Omnipotent. They do have a big hill to climb still. They will get the spike, or they have to now deal with the spike being planted. Twizdo! Huge shot on Will as they peek, but Hero also killed Tonky Kong, so they lose that heal potential. And now it's the Viper and Jet up against the Chamber and the Sova.
I don't even know how this is in the realm of doability. First Molly, no one's even on the spike. Just wants to make sure of that, and he does so. Big damage on the 90, but he still got another one in his back pocket. He's able to throw the second one out, and this guy is not going to be able to stay on the defuse. A lot of damage, vulnerable even, double damage, and Nani only needs one bullet after that. Viper's Pit goes down, Snake bitten, and now bitten is the entire team of Omnipotent. They went for the force, and it actually looked pretty doable when that 2 versus 2 happened, but good enough lineups from Nani, and then the kill is even coming along as well. That's just 11 rounds and big problems now for OP.
Snake bitten, twice shy for sure. And Nani with the degree in geometry right there. I mean, certainly it wasn't advanced geometry, but it was geometry nonetheless. And it was more than enough to keep Twiz off of the spike. Can't happen there. You want to secure that. And now Weasley Milfs is just looking dominant right now. The Hunter's Fury is in play, and it's going to be used. And that's going to force some kind of conditioning here off the site. Like, now you can see the defense scrambling, and no one's checking mid. It's open. It's 3 though. 3 in a row. Arze finally cleans them up, and then they're going to use their own Hunter's Fury and tag someone. The spike's going to go down, though. And it does, and then Hero finds Rize and Bubbles. And now, by themselves, it's not even remotely enough. But wow, if you're talking about blunders, that's one right there. Omnipotent completely leaving mid open. And we're going to get a replay of that, just sneaking all the way up into headquarters right here. Look at that. All the way up the middle. 3 in a row. And might have even gotten a 4th had they not had Rize so close. That was just... that. Freelo for sure, and now it's a 12. Look how many rounds they have in a row. 7 unanswered rounds, 8 if you count the first half. Weasley Milfs has kind of fallen to the wayside, and it looks like their tournament run might be over here. Or I'm sorry, Omnipotent Gaming, their tournament run might be over here unless Weasley Milfs starts to falter on their own. But at this point, it's their map to lose, right? OP has so much to do here to come back.
Freeload.
Rough.
Dude, he's doing the same thing. He's legit just doing the same thing. This time, instead of walking through mid, he's walking through B. They've got B control, like completely. They need to kill Bubbles. He's very, very pushed up, and they can just walk past him. That's the funny part. They could just be like, they don't even know, but Bubbles is not even looking back. He's so confident that he's not going to need to get crossed. This is a free kill. No way. Oh my god. That is unbelievable. Viper's Pit. Entry frag. There's technically one player on their team is dead, so it's a 4-on-4. But once again, what a play from Freeload. That is absolutely insane. 2 rounds in a row. First time, walks past the drone. Heads up play. This time, walks straight into B. Another trade, but Omnipotent is a man down. 2 versus 3. Rez on the board. Could bring one back, and Donkey Kong wants to find a body, and he does so. Protected by the opponent in Viper's Pit. But, oh,
that shock dart,
what?
yeah.
That's crazy. In the Viper's Pit, low HP, 1 shock dart is all it's enough. But Donkey Kong, that's the round that he needs to get a kill in. If there's any round, it's certainly this one. Shock dart going through, and Nani loses the fight. And now that defuse coming through, that Molly even misses 1 HP. All that's left on Donkey Kong, and that is the round for him to show up. Omnipotent needed it, and they keep themselves alive.
If I had those MSI headset, you know, I would have to imagine that I could hear Omnipotent breathe a crazy sigh of relief right there. That is so way too close there. It could have gone either way, and it honestly seemed like it was going to. Especially, I mean, Bubbles went down so easily. The site seemed like it was taken, but overall, Omnipotent keeping things clutch. They had nerves of steel. They had blood in their veins when it counted, and the Blade Storm now going to be popped here. That's going to be an issue to deal with. But Freelo, again, showing who's the better chamber.
Play, let's play.
Oh my god, I really don't think Omnipotent want to play right now. This is
I don't think
anything but a game.
Playtime's over.
Who says that? That's a voice line. It has to
Yeah,
be
it is.
Hero. Oh, what? Hi, what? Okay.
No.
Donkey Kong, show up again. It's your time to shine. Oh, it's so good. You absolutely love to see it. 4th kill in the entire game, but all the ones that he's had so far are so impactful. So crazy. Good showing, full HP. Another plant going down. He's not going to try to stop it. Keeps his life. I respect it. But this, oh no, that smoke dissipates at the wrong time, and Will's got a frag. Donkey Kong going for another engage, but Hero straight through the box. And now it could be all over. Bubbles, he needs 4 to win out this round. Close to an ace. Hero is low, so big chance.
Oh, that's going to be difficult. The high ground is not in Bubbles' favor, and they have to commit to pushing up, and no, they can hear, yeah, Freelo could certainly hear that passive damage coming through. Gave him a little bit of a ticket as the swing came in, and that'll be it. We slay MILFs. I'm gonna say it, we slay MILFs. They slayed, and they brought things through, and now they're gonna be getting a berth into the grand finals. I mean, honestly, it's just solid play for both of these teams, right? Because Omnipotent, they made it this far. We saw them play really well in the broadcast previously. Of course, they made it to the top 4. Not at all easy to do, but we slay MILFs. They had 8, if not 9 rounds in a row. That's huge, and at that point, that's a real mental boom against your opponent, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of crazy how that even happened as well. I mean, you can even see it was pretty evident towards the end of that entire map, but Freeload. This guy on a chamber, I mean, I guess is the operator, or excuse me, the agent that you really want doing that. You used to see the ciphers in like year 1, year 2 have that kind of play. You're the sentinel, you're the lurker, you're the one that's supposed to get information, call for the rotates. But this time, it's a chamber, technically a sentinel role, but not even close to the same amount of kit, but he still does it anyways. Walks straight through mid, walks straight into B.
Yeah.
And that's I don't even know. Like that's almost unacceptable, but like I think something that could be easily missed is again when he walks through mid, the second to last round. There's a Sova on the drone. He's literally got his head up to his headphones and listening to exactly what's going on, and he is. That's like sometimes you get people walking past each other in smokes. That time, person walking past a little robot that's right behind him, and that's the information that you need, and he just doesn't get it. And that is so unfortunate for the side of Omnipotent, but nevertheless, I mean, great heads-up play yet again by Freeload. 7 different entry kills in that map. That is by far the most in the server. It's the top 2 entries on their opponents of Omnipotent combined, +1. That's 6 + 1. So Bubbles with 2, Twists with 4. And this guy Freeload has more than that. That's unbelievable. But the entire map was really dictated among these guys and their openings, and it was oh so beautiful in the first half, maybe a bit closer, but then like you mentioned, so many rounds in a row as soon as that side swap.
Yeah, that was, and you mentioned like moving through a lot of those smokes. Like how many situations that we saw where we slay MILFs is putting down a lot of coverage and just fighting in the scramble, right? Like they're like, we're gonna make this as chaotic as possible. We're gonna cut down your sight lines and we're gonna take the fight to you, or we're gonna get a pick the second you peek. And there were a couple times where Omnipotent were kind of over peaking a little bit. They re-peak when unnecessary. They're super low, but there are a lot of rounds where there was just way too much utility on the map, and Omnipotent just really wasn't ready to deal with that. The comms weren't there a lot of the times too. I mean, that one play on bubbles was kind of indicative of that as well. Like, just you have a lot of players getting shot from behind, from the side of the head. Like, that's may just me, you know, a telltale sign of like you don't have the right information, and then you're not conveying it to the rest of your team. But of course, a lot of things can go down. Certainly, we didn't have those MSI headsets to really tell us what was going on. But certainly, it came down to We Slay Mills winning a lot of those fights in those really clutch situations in coverage. And then, of course, when you have Freelo just popping off for consecutive rounds, getting early picks, and was ruthless with the tour de force, that's going to give you an edge all the time, all day long. So, I mean, congrats to both of these teams for making it as far as they did. But now We Slay Mills, they're going to be one of our top 2 teams tonight, potentially winning this Pit of Valor. It's going to be exciting to see what they have to bring to the table going into grand finals.
Yeah, one more game until we crown a champion. I mean, literally with the crown, I'm wondering, I'm going to get some information on who is going to be the last team so far that these guys are going to go up against. It's going to be We Slay Milfs going up against the roster of Team Suits Gaming. So, curious. I mean, I could see it, yeah. If they slay some Milfs in suits, that'd be quite interesting to see.
Classy
You know
teams.
what? It took me, I think, until like the second or third to last round to realize that it's actually We Slay Milfs. Like, it's not a meme. Like, I thought when I read this team name at first, I thought We Slay was one word, and I thought that was the name of their region.
What?
But I got there. It took me a second, but I got there.
I'm glad
words.
you caught up there. Yeah, they're about it, right? Like, that's they put they wear their motto on their sleeve, right? So I respect that. When you go into the server and you tell them what you're really about, that's how you know they're really going to bring you the best of the best. So you have two teams who have certainly earned these 2 positions. We have a lot more action coming your way because we have one more map to go here on Pit of Valor. So don't go anywhere. That last map is coming your way on the other side of this break.
Moeda split attention here. The sonar dart on the inside. Moeda's gonna get tagged, but nobody checks it. Moeda flies to the gravity well. Hold it still. Third one. Oh no, Moeda would have run away as well as 3 the other way for the Jet. On the other side, nobody can tame these duelists. They who can. And it is posters. Up nowhere came Aurora. Makes it happen.
of MMG. Spike planted.
KO has a thing or two to say. So far, nothing. About to walk into the crosshair. Pendes. Aim practice at this point. No, pitching to Market. Curry is in trouble. Pendes realizes he won't call the sight. CGB for the one. Late storm. Juicy. Pendes for the one. Dismiss. Oh! Oh, beautiful. The greedy repeat there.
Oh. Not, but honestly, I don't think it matters.
Our final game of the day, and there's no one else I would rather do it with. Zach City right beside me. Love to have you here, but it's gonna be obviously we've just seen We Slay Mills slay their opponents of Omnipotent, and their names might be their gods, but so far apparently they've been turned into MILFs, and we'll see if they can turn Team Suits into MILFs as well, because these guys have been on an absolute tear as of late. Their last match, their semi-final, might have been the quickest game that we've had in this entire Pit of Valor today. 13-1 against the team that we've seen here on the stream before. Chapter 4 Academy. That is not something that I expected. Don't think that's something that most people expected. But nonetheless, looking at that scoreboard of that game, thank you very much, Ben, for letting us see that one. But Vigilance at 25-3, 155 econ rating. I don't know if he was opting or not in that map, but I like to bring up this fact every once in a while when we get econ ratings that high, but an econ rating of 150 means that every time you bought a Phantom or a Vandal, you've averaged minimum 3 kills. So that is, that's kind of insane. If he's buying Ops, that means he's averaging about 4.5 kills every single time he buys an Operator. So whatever the case, they're coming off a heater. I don't know if they've warmed up because they had a bigger break, a much bigger break, about 6-7 rounds difference between them and the map that we just saw on stream. So they've had either a lot of time to warm up, a lot of time to rest. Whatever the case, they're going to be going into this with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I mean, they have. This is a really interesting matchup here because on one hand, you have TSG, who just came off their previous game, winning, I believe, 13-1. Like they just dominated. So they were looking really solid, obviously. And then We Slay Milfs, who we just saw play, they've only been a team together for 4 days. So to get this far into a tournament in only best of ones where you don't have a lot of room to work with, you don't have time to download your opponent to make adjustments over, maps and whatnot, like that says a lot for a team to come together in essentially half a week just over that. So overall, it's really great to see a team that can individually kind of make things, coalesce so well. But now you're moving into things against a team who has likely been playing together a lot longer, and had a absolutely convincing win on their previous round. So, like, sure, they might have had some time, TSG to maybe cool down a little bit, but because their game was probably a lot faster. But at the same time, I'm sure a lot of that heat and momentum was still there as well. So I would say this is a matchup that I don't know how it's gonna go. I think based on the names, We Slay Milfs. I don't know, like they're popping off, but the TSG certainly has both these teams have their supporters in the chat. We've seen already what We Slay Milfs can do, but this will be the first time I believe we're seeing TSG on the broadcast. So I'm interested to see what they have to bring to the table.
I mean, considering the fact that he's 13-1, one of the pretty decently strong teams that we've seen here on the broadcast already. I mean, I'm very curious what happened there, because again, once again, Vigilance, 25 frags,
Yeah,
far above and beyond everyone else on the server. That doesn't happen every day. That's an anomaly for sure. I don't think he's gonna pull the same thing off again. Let's be honest. In their quarterfinal, he wasn't even nearly like. He was pretty much at the bottom of their scoreboard at 15 and 16. They still won, of course, so he didn't need to drop the insane numbers that he ended up doing. But genuinely, what the heck happened? And I'm curious if we're going to get to see the same performance again, because that wasn't consistent throughout the entire day. It was also an ascent, mind you. I don't know why else we would believe it wouldn't be, but we're here again for the 15th time in the day. Surprisingly, we got 2 non-ascents of the day, but we started off with a Haven. We had an Icebox kind of sprinkled in the middle, but now we're back to our tried and trusted. So Team Suits, let's see if it's going to be a black tie party or if We Slay Milfs can come in and crash it. It's going to be a full send inside this B. It looks like it's just 5 people waiting at this B arch. In the garage, they will go with a bunch of guns And Weasley Milfs have to try and hold it down, and it is going to be the weaker site.
And here we go. The action's gonna kick off. Remember, everyone, this is also a best of one, just like it has been throughout the rest of the bracket. So this is absolutely do or die for both of these two teams. The top two in this bracket, but who will come out on top and grab that grand prize? It's certainly going to be something, as we already have things unfolding. The spike's already gone down. The recon drone's going to try and scout things out on the potential retake here. And Vision Billy's going to get that first kill.
That's pretty late in the retake to have that first frag, but still good enough. Shots through the wall. Damage done in a Vision. Tries to fire on back, but nothing else landing. They're shooting at the default spot, but instead, it's one kill back and forth. Hero's the only one to get a trade, but now he's the only one alive. Needs to ace this round if he wants to win it out, and doesn't even find his second frag. Team Suit starting it off very, very clean.
They're living up to their name already, right? Like they're keeping it nice, clean, and classy. And how long has that giraffe sign been there? Has that always been there?
I think it's always been there. I remember.
Is it really?
finding
No
mine.
way.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That is blowing my mind, to be honest.
Did you know there's a lion statue behind
That I
Spawn on
knew.
the site?
That I knew.
Okay.
Yeah. I cannot believe I just noticed that. All right, so here we go. Pushing in. Team Suits Gaming and Weasley Milfs are both going to go with a double marshal here. So, and you can already see that's coming into play, as Vigilance does take some HP down, but they'll trade off Nani, who takes out Vision Billy. Then Wheel Eye comes in. Vigilance as well. It's a martial frenzy out here. Another shot down. This is crazy. A 3-on-1 situation there, and it was all marshals all day. I mean, this is maybe how Team Suits Gaming kind of hits their stride so early. They are nasty with these marshals all across the board.
Yeah, and there's still two marshals on the server right now. Will is the one to have it on the defense. Of course, he's the only one left alive. Needs to try and land something, and oh, it's so awkward. He's stuck in the corner now. And he has a lot of opportunities there, but Evolves is the one to clean him up with just the classic. I mean, like you mentioned, Class C as all hell. And 2-0 Team Suits. Not too much of a surprise at that point, but now Weasley with the gun buy. They should end up pulling it back on this bonus.
Yeah, you're gonna see Wheel Eye will still have the marshal in hand. Vigilance though with the judge, so you can already anticipate that Vigilance is likely gonna be playing pretty aggressive in this scenario, and they won't have a marshal to deal with on the other side, as Weasley Milfs they're forcing here against this bonus from Team Suits. Almost all armor to work with here, but can also just coming into this one. I believe Hero, actually, yeah, Hero is actually kind of far away from their ultimate. I thought they were a little closer, but yeah, there's Vigilance playing super aggressive, and Fabio snuffs it out real quick, but they're down to 2 HP already, so they won't be able to peak much more without playing their life to some degree. But losing that jet so early, not at all what Team Suits Gaming wants to have here, and I would have to imagine after losing their entry so quickly, that things are going to completely slow down, and indeed they have. Both teams going back to defaulting. Wheel Eye looking to clean things up with the Marshal. It does not come through. Nani cleans it up instead with the Phantom, and then Fabio gets on the board twice with the Vandal. Freelo as well, and Weasley Mills gets a flawless round against the bonus of Team Suits.
Jeez, that is straight up target practice right underneath that arch for Weasley. Nice job. Fabio with 3. I mean, that's his first 3 of the round, or first 3 of the map, and good on him to get those in this round as well, just to warm up his aim. Make sure he's still on point. You can see that he did enough in the last map on the Apple Icebox to get their team the win, so starting it off pretty decently in this one. Of course, losing the pistol, it's hard to convert the second, but now they have a chance. Full guns for everyone, no ops on the board, so everyone just taking the duels that they can. Really peek perhaps into tiles, and Vigilance is running straight up. Wow. He's fast. He's literally beyond the arch already. What is this? He's already here. There's a smoke that goes down in front of him. Thank goodness for the defense that he doesn't actually manage to push all the way through, but he hears Hero on the other side. He wants to go for a frag. Oh, thank goodness Will is there as well. Quick on the triggers, saves his teammate, and Vigilance just a near miss, just doesn't let him secure that entry kill. Not a trade, only a death for Team Suits.
Vigilance certainly getting a bit overconfident there, not even really considering that someone might be already in pizza, which is a pretty common place to be for someone who's getting corded off by the dark cover to begin with. Vision Billy gets on the board, and Fabio looks like they're going to try and get some shots in. Has to avoid the shock dart, gets suppressed on the other side, but still picks up Vision nonetheless after the drop down. And then Freelo will clean up Wheel Eye at the end. Weasley Milfs will get back on the board there with another round and tie things up after TSG had picked up their first 2 rounds. We slay MILFs. WSM gets on the board for 2 in a row. But by winning those 2 rounds towards the back half of that, they're going to have a bit of an economic advantage, and they're going to have a gun advantage here. So they certainly have to worry about the Marshall. We saw how devastating that Marshall was, but Hero on the op is likely more than enough firepower for them. It's really going to be up to TSG to not give away any kind of free kills here, because if they're defaulting, they could get picked off one by one, especially with half the team having pistols.
Well, Off is going to take the first kill of
And
the
there's
round.
one.
Easy stuff for Hero. He's not going to miss those.
Yeah.
And Knight is popped even by the offensive giant Team Suits. Where is he right now? Top mid. Bold. Very, very brave to peek the operator with a Blade Storm, but he's very confident in his own abilities. I don't blame him. He did so well in the last map. And he actually has passed the line of sight of the set op. Up into cat, and good timing. The defensive op rotates away as soon as he goes back into mid. This guy's getting the most fortunate timings, and since he does have a 1 versus 1 here, this could be a big chance to entry on a freeload. There's no Omen to his back to try and take another kill. He doesn't even check it. So very confident to take that duel once again into market. Oh, he ends up landing it. Oh, just so close to landing a second one as well, but Hydro is the one to take a frag across the map, and Nani trades it back. But they're going to try to work their way back in through B from the spawn position, as they have plenty of map control towards that A site, cornering everyone from Team Suits onto this actual spike site. And that is a very big wall hack, a lot of damage done, but Welly's the one to secure the first kill from the back of Boathouse. Fabio baiting out another shot. Another one misses from Welly as well. It was only one that is needed to take that frag, but it's a 2-on-3. There are guns for Weasley, but the health advantage is vastly in favor of Team Suits, and surely now they end up winning the round. That ping going through Hydro just takes him straight to the wall, takes out his doppelganger, takes out the clone, and Team Suits go up by 1.
Yeah, that was ultimately kind of a difficult retake there, because by that time no one had any smokes. You know, the Omen, the Jet were both down, so Weasley Mills had to raw dog it. They had to just walk right in and hope for the best, and unfortunately they just weren't even remotely slick enough to get in. So the Team Suits certainly playing that to their favor, and doing so retaining 3 of their players on that win. So Weasley Mills again with another half buy here. We'll see what they can do with that. Vigilance on the op. That's going to be difficult. Hero peeks out, tries to get something, but can't steal away a kill. And it's going to be now the Recon. That's the Owl drone. Going to try to get some intelligence here, a little bit of knowledge. Only gets sight of the Brimstone, though, and I don't think they saw the KO, but Vigilance not going to make a big difference there. Finds Will. Fabio now caught a little bit, gets suppressed, gets the kill on the other side, so that op is now down, and Fabio might be able to just pick that up and now put it and give the other team a little taste of their own medicine here, as Hydro now going into market, and it gets face checked by Fabio, and Hero does actually end up picking the op on the other side. They dropped it, or got it dropped from Fabio. And now Hero's going to try to cut off the middle of the map, going to make it hard for anyone to rotate over. It's going to be the Killjoy who gets the better of them. Evolved should not have won that. Hero goes down, and it's a 3-on-2.
There's so many gunfights won by the rifle against operators that we've seen this day over the course of the entire broadcast so far. That's the first one in this map, but how much more can they actually make happen? Well, technically it wasn't scoped in, but still good enough. You take the kill. That's absolutely insane. So much work being done by Evolves, and he gets absolutely shut down. Great stuff by Freelo, but he needs to do 2 more, and 1 is technically at his back inside a market, and as soon as he tries to entry, well, he spots him out inside of that market. And 4-2, Team Suits on yet another round.
Yet another round indeed. Both of these teams have traded 2 apiece. You see, Wheeli's gonna have that Hunter's Fury, but so is Fabio on the other side. The lockdown is ready though for Weasley Milfs. Freelo will have that as an option, so they can pretty much, if they're in the right position, of course, can stop the push in its tracks. But Team Suits really kind of has the mobility, and they have the firepower to kind of stay back, play default, and look for picks. They don't have to stack. They don't have to force anything. You can see they're doing exactly that. So that Killjoy lockdown might not be as effective as Weasley Milfs might want it to be. We'll see how it comes in. And the Killjoy is also all the way stacked on A, where Team Suits has not committed to either site. In fact, they're going for more mid-control, which is working out for them for most of this map so far. We've seen Vigilance has been taking mid-control almost every single time. They feel nice and at home, warm and comfortable here all the way up mid. And so far, they have not only taken control of it, but they have the entire sight line. They've cut the map in half. We'll see now as this Hunter's Fury comes out from Fabio to try and stir the pot a little bit, and the opposing Hunter's Fury will also come out as well. Wheelie attacks someone, but it doesn't follow through. Nani gets away with half their life, but Hero will get one down. Vigilance and Hydro get on the board. It's a 4-on-3 situation. The KO for Weasley Mills is also super low. Vigilance also tagged up just a little bit here. Team Slay Mills, Team Suits Gaming. Now gonna try to see what they can do to push up on B now that they do not have the defense ready for them. And then Freelo gets chunked down. Now it's a 4-on-2 situation.
Oh my god, so difficult, and you might as well call it impossible at this point, because a 1-on-4 against Vigilance with the op, not doable. Not in a million years. Triple kill, even just walking straight to the smoke, great entry, and even cleaning it up inside that B site. This guy proving exactly why he had 25 kills in the last map. It might have taken him a couple rounds to warm up, but right now he is on a heater. 8-5 with this op, and the rest of his team good around him with rifles. And for Weasley Mills, not too much to work with, only a Marshall, and it's been lethal before, but this is a very tall task given how aggressive, confident, I don't know what else you would use to describe Vigilance's positions. Like, you don't see anyone at the top of the mid-arch very often on this map. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen it outside of ranked. So this guy is just playing ranked.
Yeah, literally is like, I'm just gonna literally W mouse 1. Like, it's playing TF2 out here, essentially. I'm just gonna force every situation. No way! Will goes down. I think Will's 1-7 now. After that, no, another one! Oh, picking them off one by one. Nani didn't. They saw the kill happen and still couldn't react in time and was still swinging around there. Hero does get on the board, but Vision Billy, there's another one for Vigilance. That's 3 in a row. And now Hydro's gonna go hunting a little bit, finds Fabio and B main. And this is the Vigilance and Hydro show right now. Like, they are popping off. We're gonna get another look at this one right here.
Straight through. That is so fast. That's slow-mo, by the way. Probably about 300, 400 milliseconds in slow motion. This guy's reaction time is beyond insane. Like, I could not. There's no way you win a fight against an operator that is, 1, that quick, 2, just doesn't miss. If he misses, of course he has a chance for anyone on Weasley, but he just doesn't. 11-5. Still got the gun. Almost max money for 3 people on TSG.
Bit of a rough recon arrow there. Gets kind of stuck there in the rails. No big deal though, as Vigilance with the wall bang finds Freelo. Will's now shredding in, trying to spam through. Gets hit by the shock dart twice there. Actually walks into the rest of it. So it's already not the best start here for Weasley Mills, and Vigilance is now looking for some more shots. Is in the perfect position on this off angle here to try to shut down a shot, and swings out and gets another kill. Will try, and will succeed in getting the trade, but everyone is super chunk low here. I mean, look at that. Will is at 16, I believe. We also have Hydro's at like 6 HP, and Nani will get cut down by Evolves. The Team Suits, they're not completely out of this one just yet, as they're getting mowed down a little bit, Will and Fabio, but now it's a 2-on-1 situation. Will's by themselves with 30 HP in a dream.
1 enemy remaining.
1v1, doable, low HP, but there's an ultimate from the Brimstone. Don't think he wants to use it. There's no way. He has to just win this fight. It's gonna be who
50-50.
peeks around the box at the right time. Oh my goodness.
no.
Vision is running and gunning. He did not stop moving there for that frag. That's what you gotta do in that kind of situation when you're that close up. And both players are so low on HP, he's just gotta try for whatever, and it ends up working out. And he, dude, that, like, watching Vigilance play, just, like, it kind of makes me mad. What do you do against this guy? When he peeked spawn, and he died, he still got the kill on Hero. That's ridiculous. Like, you can't do anything against a guy that just doesn't care how you play. It doesn't matter who is on the other end of the server. He does exactly what he wants to do, and just somehow he just makes it work. Once again, he's an off. Train to be. Hit. No way. He's against 3 right now. Is he gonna... I guess he didn't need to activate. Hydro and Welly stereo kills, and they're in the B site.
Yeah, that null command, you're gonna push that, and that almost any time you hear that pop, there's gonna be a push, but I don't even think they were remotely ready for it. Hydra picked up 2. Vigilance now, again, playing the most aggressive positioning you could possibly ask for, shaking their head literally after missing that, but nope, gets it right back. And a flawless victory. That was just a speed run of a round right there. Team Suits Gaming They've got a hot date after this. They've places to be. They want this tournament over. And right now it is, look at that. 6 unanswered rounds as we go into the last 2 for the first half. And it is Vigilance at 14 and 6. Over 5K credits in the bank. The ops still in their grip. And to be honest, they would be at that 20 kill mark had not Hydro just also being extremely strong on the entry. Both of their, look at that. Both of their entry players all the way at the top. Then you have your information gatherers in the middle. And then you have your Killjoy, your anchor at the bottom. I mean, that really kind of makes sense in terms of the kill spray here. Hero, though, that's big.
Where was he? He was in mid? How did he get that kill? Did he just instantly dash back? That's I mean, if you can match the speed of Vigilance, that's what you gotta do. Smoke to let him cross, and he's gonna take the mid angle again. That's a nice entry. Probably the most impactful space taker on Team Suits. Yeah, you have the KO, but KO doesn't literally have a dash, so big plays, and Hydro's even stuck in a corner. Very difficult to get out of, and he only gets 1 kill. Fabio, a quick trade. That's what you need from the team of Weasley if you want to at least have a chance in this half. It's already been won by Team Suits +2, but maybe able to take some back. Nani's going to know that someone is here, but Vision just walks straight through that brim smoke and takes another frag, another head, flips the man advantage right in Team Suits' favor. Now these players already up in heaven from Weasley, but they need to try and retake yet again. Still the brim ult in the hands of Team Suits.
This is going to be a difficult retake right here because they're both coming in from heaven right now. Ooh, Fabio also taking a shot. And if Wheeli gets a single kill here, they'll have the Hunter's Fury if needed. We'll see. Evolves does go down after that. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Fabio now pushing up aggressively here, backed up by Hero.
Player standing.
And gets caught on the 50-50. And then, of course, there is the Brimstone ultimates. Didn't even need the Hunter's Fury. You already had the Orbital Strike ready to go. And honestly, that's all you really need. A 9-2 scoreline. Team Suits Gaming are looking to speedrun this map, and so far they might not be on world record pace, but they're certainly going to get on the leaderboard here. It's a 9-2 scoreline, and with 1 round to go, they could go into the second half just needing 2 more, and that'd be a pistol round, and that's it. Like, just going from there, that's a lot for Weasley Mills to overcome.
Dak, I don't know what has happened, but it's not often do we get the later rounds in a tournament to be the ones that are more one-sided. We had a multiple overtime for second round. Third round, we got a 13-11. And then Team Suits are just, like, they're just speedrunning. Big Hunter's Fury. Nani is at 20 HP. Will has got a kill.
And on
Good
Vigilance,
entry.
no less.
Ooh, I mean, when this guy dies, much bigger chance for Team Suits to end up taking rounds, but it's still very difficult because last time it happened, it still didn't even matter. Welly, what is okay? Don't even know how that happened. Shorty play and another shotgun. This guy, that's double shotgun. What is he playing? Doom? This is you're for the wrong game, buddy.
Oof, that's a little bit of Gears of War action right there. You're just, I would have loved to have seen a wall bounce potentially. And now we're gonna get a face check potentially, and Vision Villy is unfortunately not gonna have the foresight to know that Fabio is ready and waiting
I got the spike.
from those sky smokes. So now it's a 3-on-2 situation. We slay Mills, their
30
first
seconds
opportunity to really cut the momentum of Team Suits Gaming, and of course, it's going to come at the very end of this half, so it's not going to make a difference for the next rounds, but it's certainly helped them at least stay in this and have a chance. And there's the Hunter's Fury that we've been waiting for. Hydro is certainly way out of the way, but that spike has to get delayed, and Evolves will finally get it down with a little bit of time left on the clock. Both Killjoy ultimates going down almost around the same time. Freelo pushes in. Hydro goes down. Freelo for a second one. And that's going to be more than enough. Everyone starts to scramble when both lockdowns get put into play. And the good halves come down. I mean, you have to respect both teams. They've made it this far, but Team Suits Gaming have really made it difficult in this first half. We slay Milfs will get the last round, but they're still down by 6 rounds here.
I mean, gotta ask you, Dak. Do you believe in magic? 3-9? It's happened? I mean,
I
possible.
believe in miracles. I do.
Definitely a miracle. The fact that we're being sponsored by MSI for 5 tournaments in a row. Great stuff. Thank you so much to these guys for giving us that, and something that we have to announce as well. We forgot earlier, but we can tell you guys about the winner for the $25 in Valorant points, a gift card for the GLGCC members, and it's going to be a dude from Team Pretty Boys winning, and it's going to be Ski, the one that ended up signing up for the membership. So congratulations to Ski for winning that giveaway, and make sure to stay tuned in to either the Discord or our Twitter, Twitter, Discord, to keep up with those. But we're going to get right into the round very quickly as soon as we get off of the break. And Vigilance with a bunch of kills. It's the Fast Send B, and Team Suits to stall Weasley at the door.
Yeah, really shut the door on them there for sure. That is not the way you want to be starting this off. It gets, I mean, that was Siglemic runs on Super Mario 64 right there. Another really quick one. Going for the 120-star run for sure, and instead it's the 12-star run. Team Suits Gaming up 10-3, and you know that they're going to be playing aggressive here. Vigilance has the Marshal. It doesn't matter if that's a ranged weapon. As far as they're concerned, it's a close quarters weapon. And of course, the rest of the team all on Spectres. They're going to push the envelope and send them packing. Weasley and Mills can see they're playing a little far back here, but even Vision Billy also getting into Spectre action. Unfortunately, does not come out on top. Nani and Hero both get on the board real quick. And when just a few seconds into this round already, Team Suits Gaming has lost a couple members of their squad here. Unexpected considering how they had really anticipated a different outcome here. Evolves and Hydro, though, evening things out, and now it could go either way.
Hydro? Oh, it's such a close gunfight. Even some more damage to the wall, but Nani is the one to land one straight through all the paper. He wants to get more aggressive. That might be a bit of a blunder from Vigilance, but at least Hydro takes one in the side. Now these last two players very low, but Hydro just the same. And now that ping is disaster. Nani with his quad kill. And there is no cover on this B-bomb site when you have Sova on the playing field. 4 now for Weasley and Milfs, and the Force Spy once again. It has been a day of those Force Spies, and they so far have vastly worked out in the favor.
That's such an unfortunate decision to make there too, because you were already kind of scouted out by the null point. Like at that point, like just let the recon hit you, you know? Like I think literally they know that both players on the other side were at like no HP, because they could have run and gunned it, right? Like if you just had that information, but it wasn't there. But instinctively, yeah, you kind of want to take out the recon dart, I guess. And now Hero pushing up with a bulldog, but Hydro steals a kill first. Hero gets in there, trades out. And Team Suits Gaming, they have on the defense, they're playing a bit more passive here, as we saw in the previous round, and Weasley Mills going to take that to the bank every time. Will gets another kill. Vigilance goes down early, but Vision Billy will get back on the board. Freelo for another one. And now they're dropping like flies. Weasley Mills have found a little bit of momentum here.
This is all right. Okay, what is happening? That could have been a shot as well. Near miss once again. The last two rounds have probably taken like 20 seconds. I think we've gone past 3. Weasley Milfs have won their 2 rounds, and Team Suits with the pistol. All of them span of like a single minute. Fast, swift. I mean, fair. They just want to get it over with so they can all get to guns. And now Weasley finally have the rifles. 5 of them, 2 of them being weaker, but I mean, they've been looking pretty decent. And both teams have a pretty similar buy as well, other than Welly on the Odin, the only thing that's bigger than anything else on the server, but they also have 2 Bulldogs on the defensive team as well. Vigilance, big blind, and he's gonna get 2 free frags. That is so clean. He's just walking forward.
No way,
What is this? How? Oh no! Oh, no. Well, yep, that's a celebration from Vigilance. Quad kill, looking for the ace. Is he gonna get it? All he needs is 1 shot, looking back for the flash, and not quite. Freelo. That is a punishment and a half. I mean, you gotta avenge your teammate after what has just happened. The travesty inside that B main. But Team Suits, that was a very convincing round. Vigilance, this is, you don't even like that's the easiest thing in the world. You just not even, he just walks forward.
Sheesh.
Like, what?
And a great job by Team Suits Gaming to support that, right? Like you can tell how often that you have Hydro or Eli like right with Vigilance. It's not like Vigilance is kind of just like running around on their own and being super aggressive. Like they have support So when you see Vigilance pushing with that Judge, you can tell that parts of We Slay Mills are also trying to shoot the players around Vigilance because they're seeing other people poke as well. So when you're diverting attention like that, makes it even harder to react, especially against the Judge. Now Team Suits Gaming, though, have another foothold on this round as Hydro and Evolves get 2.
Vigilance fast flank, and oh, what is that smart plant spot? Wow, don't expect that very often, and Will is aware enough to turn right at that Blade Storm, but now it's all up to Omen. A very sudden 1 versus 2. He's stuck inside the site. The spike has been planted, and he does take a kill. Very, very important. Needs to get back on the site fast. Hydra's gonna stick half, and no, he's just gonna go for it. No way! Just gets it for free. Doesn't even need to take a duel.
And then wins it anyway.
Whoa.
Match
All right.
point.
Map point, tournament point.
You know, it is a school night, and I think one of these teams is making sure that they're awake for the first period. Because right now, Team Suits Gaming has something to prove, and that's getting this game done quick. Certainly, though, We Slay Milfs has kept things not entirely out of sorts. They have 5 rounds under their belt. 2 of those are in the second half, so this is still totally doable. But again, I mean, look at the buys. Look at the economy of We Slay Milfs. It is dire. Dire straights out here. And Team Suits Gaming is ready to finish things up as Hero out ahead for We Slay Milfs. Gonna pop that Blade Storm. And I believe a Hunter's Fury also got used as well. Yeah, that's actually being burned. So that's not gonna find anybody, but that Owl Drone will, and Fabio being used as well. Gonna pop the Hunter's Fury, and Freelo is the first one to get on the board nonetheless. And also Fabio finding someone waiting on Catwalk. It's Evolves, so Fabio's Shock Dart does return the favor, but they've taken 70 HP. Meanwhile, Nani goes down. Hydro gets traded out, and now it's a 3-on-1 situation as Will finds Welly. But can Vigilance do it? No, the hero player unfortunately had too much to climb. 6-on-12.
Wow, with the blades no less, and somehow even the Sheriff finds frags. A Shock Dart after Freelo somehow whiffs a lot on Cat, but enough damage done for Fabio to just clean that one up. And they still keep themselves alive. It's a bit rough, but even rougher for Team Suits because they're left on pistols. Enough damage done over the course of the 2 rounds that Team Suits ended up taking that they're ending up on pretty much no buy. Not even Vigilance as a shotgun. We know what he can do with that weapon. And he's probably hoping for at least a kill or 2 just to charge up this Blade Storm in a couple rounds, but now they know exactly where he is. Not that they know the weapon he has, but already an entry frag for Freelo. And a very close range fight for Vigilance. This could be an opportunity. That spike, that's a bit of information dropped as well. Oh, wow. Fast reactions from Nani, and Vigilance is not quick enough, but 2 Sheriff kills across the map. Keep it doable. Team Suits in a 2-on-3. 2 ultimates to work with as well. And Evolves with a gun. This could be a big chance for them to just close it out right here and now.
Alarm bot out.
We Slay Milfs. This is their time to shine right here.
Alarm bot down.
And Evolves just dodging that Shock Dart. Pushing up thanks to the Stim Beacon, but no, Fabio gets the better of them. Vision Villy will trade out though with a nice double peek. We Slay Milfs are looking to keep things close. And they're certainly doing so. Vision Villy just by themselves, a little bit of speed to work with, but also they have the Orbital Strike. And with the Sky Smoke, coming out, it might be just a little too late. That attacker side is going to get the spike down and exploded. There it goes. And now it's 12-7. We Slay Milfs, not out of it just yet.
It's getting closer. I mean, let's see. Scoreboard is looking fairly even. That's the thing for We Slay. It's not like anyone's even playing bad. Like, this is Team Suits. They've got 2 players, Vigilance and Hydro, just going in and taking all the heads. Everyone in We Slay is their max kill differential is 3 kills between Hero and Will. Everyone's fine. Then you've got to find a way to shut down Vigilance and shut down Hydro. And when you do that, big chance. 1 round where they've shut down Vigilance, they end up winning in the first half. 1 round, they do both.
Should run.
It works out even still, and now they're on a bit of a streak. And a big ultimate from Vision actually does absolutely nothing. Nice stuff to bait that one out very quickly, and that's an ultimate for an ulti, but one of those a bit more influential than the other. We'll see which one is going to be the one that Team Suits needs more, because it's the A site. It's going to get taken very swiftly, and 1 kill from Freelo. Yet again, another entry from the Killjoy, traded right back, but Will follows it up for another. And 7 to 12, looking to push it up to 8, because they're going to be able to get the spike down once again. Will, another frag on a Vigilance. Big plays by this guy.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Oh, it's Odin. I'm actually surprised that the Odin's taken this long to come into the action now, right? Like, this is a map where you see it all too often. We Slay MILFs, though, are looking so good on attack, and they overcome that overwhelming pressure and have made it now within 4, which, to be really honest with you, I did not even remotely expect. I mean, this was a game that was at 9-3 at one point, and We Slay MILFs have absolutely found their stride. Vigilance has been cut down pretty often here. And we got a timeout coming out from the sides of TSG. They're going to try to ice this momentum that We Slay MILFs have built for themselves.
I mean, let's see what solutions they can possibly have. So far, it looks like what they've been doing, which is sending Vigilance in on their attack and being in the most ridiculous spots in the world. I think the image of him standing on top of the mid-arch is going to be forever burned in my mind. I'm going to look up there every single time I see just a crack jet in my ranked games. That's where he could possibly be standing, but no one else in the world other than this. And on the defense, that's just not something that you can do. It's not an option. So when you don't have that at your disposal, what's the plan? Because so far, We Slay has figured something out. They have the headsets on, the GH50s, good enough to be able to listen to exactly what the plans from Team Suits are. And Team Suits need to try and rework. They've got a lockdown to play with in this round. They've also got pretty much... Hydro is charging his ultimate, 1 away. Everyone else not too close. Vigilance, maybe a kill and an orb. Maybe 2 frags. Wouldn't put it past him to get that, but a very quick mid-set piece. Finds a bunch of players inside tiles, and Fabio tries to answer right back and see over that smoke if he hops a little. A lot of damage done on the hero, though. This could be kind of risky for We Slay, but there's a similar amount done to the Brimstone on Team Suits as well, so sitting in a very precarious corner. Wally's the first line of engage, and Vision now stuck. Pulls up smoke at the wrong time, and Will with a double entry, and Nani even chiming along as well. Vigilance is, you can even see, he's a bit lost. Has no idea what has happened to his entire team, and sitting alone with the judge. If he can take the spike out of Freelo's hands, maybe a chance to win this round, but spotted out, dink through the wall, and they're just gonna run away from him. No way they end up fighting this guy. Big blind. And a gamble is all that Vigilance has to work with. He just has to try, and only with a judge. Not going to be the executioner this time.
Yeah, and you're speaking of a gamble. I mean, Vigilance absolutely could have gambled and pushed out with the judge and found a majority of the team sitting around tiles, like waiting to make that push on mid. So it could have gone either way. Like, or on the other side, We Slay MILFs could have rolled the dice and pushed hard to be main like they had previously. They didn't do that either. So it could have gone either way. It's on a razor's edge. But what's interesting to me is how dominant Vigilance was playing on attack on mid, but we've barely seen Vigilance playing mid at all on defense. Now he's kind of positioned to sitting around pizza and sitting on mid, but almost not at all playing in mid on the second half. So I'm curious to know potentially why that might be the case, but it seems like they finally made a difference here to change things up and see if Vigilance can assert dominance. But of course, they can't be as aggressive as they might want to be, and even playing passively, Hero gets the better of them. Vigilance maybe thinking twice of making that adjustment. And We Slay MILFs again taking out Vigilance early. That is what's keeping them alive. That's what kept them on a lifeline here as they shorten the gap. And Team Suits Gaming have been unable to speedrun this map like they'd hoped. It's 12-9, and they're already at a disadvantage.
Biggest asset taken out. It's Vigilance's confidence, right? And you can see he's just in mid, like he's just there. He's ready to take any duel. But instead, the opposing jet just goes and dry peeks him. No util, no flash, no nothing. Just absolute deletion. Freelo up here. He's been so good on his entries as well. Can he do it again? Of course he can. Of course he can. Another headshot division. Double man advantage. Spike going down. Turret to prevent any entry from back towards the spawn. And Freelo might only have 7 bullets, but he needs to use absolutely none of them as Nani and Will sweep up the rest of Team Suits, and they're bringing it so darn close. 10-12. Only 2 rounds left to bring us into OT.
I think this is the first time we've seen players of We Slay Mills be positive. Will and Hero both finally getting to 17-16 and 16-15 respectively. It's taking a long time, better late than never, but I think we have an opportunity to go to overtime here, my friend, and this is looking so close. 5 unanswered rounds for We Slay Milfs. Team Suits are now going to go on a full eco round to make sure that they have money to work with on the potential last round here, at least in regulation. Team Suits Gaming have found themselves with their backs against the wall in a situation where they certainly did not expect to be, considering this was 9-3 coming into the second half. 9-3, and now it's 12-10. We Slay Milfs, a team that has been together for 4 days, are staying alive and doing what they can. But Vigilance, no, that's exactly what they want. The blood has now been spilled, and that has been a start that TSG has been waiting for endless rounds.
Solo Lurk getting punished too, and no one even holding for that beaming. That is just bad timing. Nothing else to say about it. Vigilance does get aggressive again. He gets shut down. Maybe not what you want to do, but he needed to find some kind of space. The only one that he thought could make anything happen, and he ended up starting, but so far the start has been ended. And Vision had a chance there as well, but the shot's just ending up missing. Will has made his way onto the B site, getting that spike down very swiftly, and Team Suits once again on the back foot. I think Will has probably dropped the gun, trusted by the Jet on their team to be able to be the one to do something else, but instead he just goes down 3-on-4. Yeah, there is some leeway, there is some wiggle room for them to lose this one. There's some ultimates they probably want to save for the next round. Chance missed yet again, and only a 2-player advantage, but 2 rounds closing the gap. We Slay perhaps doing exactly what their name entails, and Will looking out. He's spotting market, spotting spawn, and instead it's Hero going to be removing Hydro from the shop, and Welly, I mean, either way, he's going to die to a gun or he's going to die to the spike. There's no option. And instead, Nani is going to clean him up, but Will and him are going to go down at the end. Does it matter? Likely not. Enough economy. We Slay have been winning so many rounds in a row. Make that 6. They've got so much in the bankroll, it doesn't even matter.
It looks like we're going to go to a timeout here. TSG. We're going to get both teams have an opportunity to think things over. This is now do or die. We're going to get overtime or it's going to be over. There's one more opportunity for you all, or maybe not, but potentially one of your last opportunities to get your phones out, scan that QR code, and try to immerse yourself in the GH5 MSI headsets, which right now we're immersed into this game. How could you not be? It's been a back and forth battle this second half, but it's been going towards this crazy We Slay MILF squad who looked like they were down and out for the count in the first half, and all of a sudden they've brought things back to within 1, which is absolutely crazy. Vigilance has been shut down time and time again on defense after playing so well on offense, and We Slay MILFs have shown that they have not only the skill but the endurance. I mean, think about this. All these teams have been playing all night, right? Like, they haven't let up. They've had some breaks, sure, but I mean, they've had to keep playing at a high level the entire night, game after game. It's not even a test of skill now, it's a test of endurance, and both of these teams are proving that they can overcome that test. But now, can We Slay MILFs overcome Team Suits Gaming in the last round and push things to overtime? We're about to find out.
Ooh, big jump peek 2 from Freelo. Thank goodness he went for that. Operator around the corner, not sure if he understands, but no, Vigilance finally wins out that entry duel. It's a long time coming, but this is what Team Suits have been needing, is this guy to wake back up. And of course, Freelo to not land his own entries, because he's been doing that a lot as well. But this thing is, with all that attention being showed towards B, with the entry kill even happening, it doesn't even matter. This A site has been completely compromised. It is empty from Team Suits, playing the full retake setup. They're going to let the spike go down. The time now starting, 45 seconds on the clock.
And there's the lockdown. Hunter's Fury in response to get rid of that lockdown. And it does get destroyed, but you know, KO gets popped. Will and Hero getting some kills. We Slay MILFs now. Now it's down to a 4-on-3, but that KO is still down on the ground. Evolves finds Hero. Team Suits Gaming has 2 players left. The KO gets back up. And this 2-on-2, this is dire situations here. Wheeleye has the Odin. The utility is getting popped off. There's so much on the shock dart though. Fabio finds it now. Just Hydro, 16 HP. Might be able to stick half. waiting. Oh, gets flashed, gets swung on, and Nani finds the kill. We slay MILFs. They're going to OT. It's not over just yet.
Switching sides.
Absolutely beautiful play. That 2 versus 1 got a bit tight after losing that first kill as well. But even still, ending up in the 1v1, Nani plays it perfectly. The flash, even showing the shoulder, making some fake confidence for Welly. Maybe he thought he was able to take that fight, but no, it was complete blindness. Great stuff. And Weasley, like you mentioned, so much endurance. 7 rounds to bring it back into a 12-12 scoreline. Absolutely unreal. No operator for the defense in their team. They're confident in their rifling, which I don't even blame them. Like, Freelo might be at the lowest point in the scoreboard, not of the server, but of their team. He's 14 and 19. But the number of entries that this guy has gotten, I haven't kept count, which I feel bad for. I've been so focused on the game because it's been so riveting that I've forgotten to take notes for the last couple rounds, but good grief, this guy has been doing so much in the early round in this second half for the team of Weasley. And now it's just slow from Team Suits. They don't know what else to do. They're back on the offense, which is where they were so strong in their first half, but they're not pulling out the same amount of confidence. You see an operator again in the hands, no armor, so Vigilance is going to go for glass cannon, just walking up Cat. He's kind of doing the same thing. Like, he's not on top of mid-arch, but at least he's still entry fragging with a sniper rifle, which is not something you see very often, but if anyone can do it, it is literally this guy that has been doing it this entire matchup. But still, I mean, he's being blocked off by so many things. Second smoke was down, so he's safe for another 15 seconds. And that dart, gonna spot him out. He's right around the corner. Everyone knows. So what can this Jet even do at this point?
Vigilance playing so patiently, and will it pay off? It does. Will goes down right at the plant, and that doesn't entirely open up a site. This is still a pretty default push here for TSG. And what it has done, though, is pulled a lot of action over A, which means all you have to deal with is a killjoy on B site. It's now a 4-on-1, and you can see now the defense is swinging back over. Here comes the aggressive push. Can Freelo deal with it?
Oh no, swinging for a kill, not quite. Vigilance, another frag as well. Now it should be keeping the status quo as TSG do end up, at least convincingly, for the time being, they should end up taking this round. First attack in OT. Likely going to TSG, but good shot by Fabio, still making something happen. Vigilance is going to come straight in through this B main, not expecting Fabio to be pushing that deep in. And now, 2-on-3, bit of a chance. Stairs blocked off, and even shots through the wall. Welly goes for some pot shots. Damage done. Now, all they have to worry about is this site presence. The first kill not going to come through. Now it should be all but done unless Fabio can ace this round out. He needs every single frag. And playing off the contact, Vision just clotheslines him. Good enough. They end up taking the 13th. First match point in overtime.
Switching
Well, like you
sides.
said, that was TSG on the half and on the side that they prefer to be on. But now things are going on the other way here. This is... Whew. I mean, this is... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was, TSG was actually on defense there. So this is now where they want to be, right? Like, that's actually kind of rough, right? Like, We Slay MILFs has been... They found, like, such success on attack. Now things are changed up. TSG, now they're moving in. Whew, this could be it right here. You can see a little bit of action on the perimeter of mid. The hesitation from both these teams is they know how much is on the line. Like, there's no aggression going out mid. They're playing this so safely. They don't want to give up any information. That's exactly how they want to play it. Though Hydro will find the Omen, gets the suppression, and backs up as Vigilance finds Fabio and dashes away. Classic Jet. And that's something that Vigilance had been trying to get for a lot of the time on defense. Finally gets it when it matters most.
He did the same thing during the last round of standard time as well, but even still, Weasley and MILFs were able to recover on the A site, but this time not having the luxury. They don't have to lurk up Cat. They've got maybe a little piece of utility, but they're still wanting to commit towards this B site. Big flash. This Jet should be blind, and she is, but no, not fast enough. Hero takes one kill, and Vigilance is still alive. Biggest problem, biggest thorn that Weasley and MILFs have had in their side this entire time, and finally, after so many rounds in the second half where he just has not been activated, he has turned it on in what might be the last round of this entire map, of this entire tournament. This could be the end of Pit of Valor number 83 as well. He takes another head. Will gets shot in the back, and the plant isn't even going to get confirmed. 16 seconds. They just have to go for it. So low on manpower. It's going to be a 1v4 until he gets the spike down, and even with that molly popped, is it going to be enough? Inside the site, he goes down, and Freelo tries to do so much, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Team Suits have been doing so well so far in this entire map. They finally end up closing it out. They had a conquest over Conquest Esports in their first. C4 Academy fell to them as well, and WSM finally are slain. They are stopped at the door. Team Suits say, stop right there. It's not quite enough. The dress code is wrong, and they don't have the black ties to go into this party, and instead it's going to be Team Suits that are end up having the celebration at the end of this tournament. They crown themselves the winner of Pit of Valor number 83.
And honestly, how absolutely picture perfect it is for Vigilance after how they played throughout that map to get the final kill with the op to clean things up. But hey, we slay MILFs. A hell of a run. We saw them previously on the broadcast for some phenomenal play. And honestly, the 9-3 curse almost happened to TSG. They had that lead, and wow, it is incredible that we slay MILFs, a team that's been together for 4 days, brought it back to overtime after being down by such a deficit. Honestly, hats off to them, but of course, hats off to our champions, Team Suits Gaming, who played phenomenally, who had Vigilance, who had Hydro, and then some, all coming together to excel on both sides of the map, and of course when it mattered most in overtime. Exceptional play to both of these teams, and certainly made it worthwhile for us. I mean, you were talking about the caster's curse earlier when we had a quick map, but after that we saw the cream of the crop rise to the top and go head to head like we truly expected and hoped for. And honestly, I couldn't be happier with how we had, and certainly couldn't be happier for these players who showed their stuff in a really high competitive environment.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, speaking of show, I wish we could end up showing the scoreboard, but there's a pretty nice econ rating in Vigilance's hands right now. 29-20 in terms of his KD, but 69 in his econ. It might not have been the 150 that he had in the previous map, but even still, 9 entries. 2 of those crucial in the last couple rounds, and one of those obviously didn't end up mattering. They ended up losing anyways, but when he gets those op frags, when he ends up opening, that is what they have needed this entire time. He is, once again, there's always that one player that is just above and beyond everyone else on the server when we've come to the last few games in this Pit of Valor, and this time it is going to be Vigilance at 9. The closest second is going to be Hero at 4, the opposing Jets, but not even matching half of those entry frags from Vigilance. The rest of his team is chiming in. There's a lot of players actually on the side of Weasley that have gotten a lot of entries. There's 4 on Hero, 3 on Will, 3 on Freelo. I thought he actually got more than that, but the 3 were, I guess, this so impactful that I thought he did more than that. But again, Nani with 2, and the lowest is actually Fabio, top fragging at 1 entry. So it's just, everyone is pretty much, like I mentioned, even in the game, they're all not even playing bad. It's just they're getting deleted by Vigilance and Hydro. Welly with the 19 assists on the Sova. That, he's just, like, it's basically like the entire team of Team Suits is just hacking. They just know where you are at all times because they have the Sova pinging absolutely everyone 24/7 on the map. That is probably the most annoying thing that you have to play against. And then everyone else, even Vision with 15 assists on the Brimstone, evolves. You can even see how much his mollies even matter. And this is everyone on the team chiming in and everyone having a job to do and doing it absolutely flawlessly. And I think we even have an MVP graphic for you guys, which is maybe not what you might think, not what I certainly might have thought, but given the consistency that he had in this latest matchup, of course, in the second half, particularly, Vigilance dropped off. He was not looking very good until the last couple rounds. In Hydro, he stayed in it. This guy, never mind. It is Vigilance. I respect it. I respected both of those guys were at the top.
Mind game.
And I guess clutching up the last 2 rounds, this guy, I say he deserves it. Look at that scoreline, 25-3 in the second to last map. That is unreal.
I mean, I don't blame you because honestly, it could have gone either way, right? Like Hydro is looking extremely good as well as Vigilance. But Vigilance 25-3 in the semifinals, 29-20, almost getting the 30 frag in this last map here. Absolutely incredible. And doing it on Ascent 3 times in a row, right? So absolutely crazy. But still, I would say shout outs to Hydro as well. I mean, Hydro posted really solid numbers, 14-12 in quarterfinals, 18-5 in semis, 22-18 in the final matchup. But yeah, Vigilance. It was the Vigilance show in the first half. And yeah, maybe slipped a little bit on defense. But to be honest, I think that was less Vigilance slipping and more so We Slay MILFs turning it up, right? And they really kind of figured out how to shut them down. They made that mid part of the map their territory, or they made it no one's territory. They made it no man's land for a lot of the time. And then Vigilance finally figured things out towards the end. And of course, you have that 3K at the end, cleaning up with the final op kill to shut things down. Vigilance, I would say, certainly earned it, certainly deserved it. But I mean, there were a lot of MVPs in this matchup on both sides of the teams. Vigilance, though, coming out on top as a tournament MVP.
Yeah, good stuff from this guy. I don't really think there's anything else to say, but that's honestly the Jet that you really want on your team. When I ever see a Jet jumping on top of mid-air, I brought that up probably 3 or 4 times, but again, you don't see that often. If anything, you see that from the defenders, and you have like an Omen flash through tiles, no one can hear anything, and he teleports up there, and someone's gonna get caught off guard. Because again, who plays there? But instead, it's Vigilance on the attack. He can be vulnerable from catwalk. He can be vulnerable from all the way back, like behind spawn, where people usually jump peek on top of the little fountain. He can be vulnerable from like the lower angle, and like in market. That is such a big distance that he has to cover with a single shot weapon, and he did it. Like it didn't. I guess it didn't make a difference because he didn't actually get a kill from that position, but. The fact that he just has the confidence to do that, I don't like. He trusts his team very. Like I don't blame him for that because again, he's getting followed up on kills by Hydro with 22, and the rest of his team doing just as well. There's no one really egregiously negative. It's evolves on the Killjoy, but again, Killjoy does what Killjoy does, right? So everyone's pretty even in the frag count, other than him at 29. But it's just. It is like you mentioned, Dak. It's the Vigilant show. That is the way we close out number 83.
Absolutely. A huge shout out to both of our teams, all the teams that participated tonight. I mean, we saw a ton of great teams who were all very skilled, of course. We Slay MILFs, an absolute great name and a great team. And I would have to imagine after this performance, sticking around as a squad for a little longer. I would hope to see them in some future POVs and see what they can do to maybe potentially get the rematch or get another chance at being the Pit of Valor champions. And then, of course, Team Suits Gaming, our day of the champions of the day, absolutely killing it. And yeah, we were talking, I mean, it wasn't just Vigilance. I mean, Vigilance was able to push so aggressively because of the support they had from the rest of their team. So that's certainly a team effort here. Of course, a team effort here with all the squad at GLG. And there's so much to talk about here. I mean, this is a weekly event. You have $50 on the line. Not only did TSG win $50 tonight, but also they got their hands on that awesome MSI GM41 gaming mouse. I mean, we have so much more. We have Val and Chill on Saturdays. We have, you know, the season of MSI, the season of giving here, 5 weeks, and MSI sponsoring it all. We have the GLG launch party of the gaming facility on April 20th. And there's the country club, which you can get access to, that Instalock membership, which gets you access to that new gaming lounge happening in Rochester on the 22nd floor, up in the sky, up in the clouds. You'll be able to game with your friends and family. It's going to be absolutely epic. And of course, you can also get some priorities. Some of those events, it's only $10 a month. You surely got to check it out. We got the awesome GLG socks. I mean, there is just so much going on here, and we're absolutely thankful to you all for checking it out. Anton, I mean, this is, I guess, where we close things out. Any last words?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing left to say is Dak, lovely casting with you as always. I mean, I hope we can work together in the future some more. And obviously in the back lines, we've got Fade on the observation. We've got Carol producing this entire affair. And Ben, thank you very much for just having us here. And MSI, these guys are absolutely amazing. Like we've been harping this entire stream, 5 streams were sponsored by them. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of gear that they're giving away to the players, to people in chat, whoever is winning these giveaways. It's absolutely insane. But without further ado, it is literally midnight on the East Coast. Long games today. We had an overtime. We had a freaking CSGO overtime. I love saying that word. I'm never like, I don't get very many chances to say 16-14. So lovely there. And then these last 2 games, absolute bangers. I'm surprised that we didn't have even more. But nonetheless, congratulations once again to TSG. It's actually funny. I don't know if chat notices, but if you combine the names of the 2 teams that we had in our finals, it actually makes TSM. So banger matchup. I mean, it's destined. It was destined to be the entire time. Anyways,
True.
Like you mentioned, I think without further ado, we will let you guys go. We will let you guys literally go to bed. And because they wanted to speedrun this anyways, have a good night, guys. And make sure to check us out at our Discord, at our Twitter. But for the time being, take it easy, and we'll see you next time.
I'm looking forward to seeing what four people can do with ISO posted up.
Well, it all starts with whether or not anybody wants to check their corner, and I don't think they want to do that because ISOs are on 3, and well, that really just spells the entirety of the round.
Aldron's gonna go down. They don't know Noodle's there. Noodle almost finding a kill. He does find. Oh my goodness! Noodle finds three. Put it in the highlight reel.
Last player standing.
This situation now from LJ. There's a lot of ground to cover, not a lot of time, and 2 members of Penguin Polo Patrol to post up. And LJ getting cheeky with a nice peek, doesn't know where the last one is. Does he make the better of this? Oh my god, what a dance around that smoke, and it's almost light work from LJ, and that just sets us apart by 1 mediocre round ahead.
Does seem like Demon saw one person and is deciding to continue to hold that angle. Whoa, that was a surprising shot to get onto Senti there, but then follows it up with a nice shot into Edgy. I mean, you'd never guess that that was a problem to go ahead with that Marshall.
Not making out there. Zodi giving the better of the counterpart. Ooh, Jay! Galactical transition. That nice shot onto Uni. Gets another one onto Obi and the dash. And now Bladestorm. Do we get the dash in the sky? 1.
Oh,
we can expect more.
ace.
Let's go.
Oh, hey man! No, no, they're gonna go for it. Jay! Oh.
That's crosshair placed with the pre-aim. This could be it, my friend. Illuminate in a 3v1. Cyclone got a peek. They hear him on short. He gets the diffuser. It's a half.
Oh, are they gonna
Don't
get it?
tell me.
Oh, 0.94 seconds!
Orbital. That could have gone easily belly side up. Good discipline and patience, but man, what a game.